way we could um, start actually talking once people tune in. But since this will also probably go on YouTube, howdy. Welcome to the second, I guess could say, attempt at our podcast. I won't go yet into like the specifics and everything. Uh, we could just do our last sharing of the stream and all that. Wait for people to poke in, and then it can give an overview of what I want to talk, what did you guys talk about, and all that stuff. Um, I guess before we get into anything though, uh, how are y'all doing today?
Good.
I'm doing good. Yeah.
I'm doing well.
I'm alive. I survived.
We survived waiting.
I survived. I got tested. I'm coronavirus negative, so I'm happy about that.
That is good.
It'll take like two weeks. So
I took
who
3
knows?
weeks off.
Oh, I see. So if you haven't done anything in 3 weeks, hopefully you're good.
I'm making one of the biggest mistakes I could do.
Wait, what?
I'm lactose and I'm eating ice cream, so I'm about to regret this later.
Good grief,
Just
man.
get some lactate ice cream, man. Get some lactate ice cream.
But Ben and Jerry's is so good.
Dang. He has a point.
But
I'm eating some chunky monkey.
Chunky Monkey's pretty good.
Sorry. So, what do you want us to talk about first?
Just a second here.
Are you there?
Yeah, I am. Wait, you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah,
I can hear you now.
Oh, well, okay. And I don't know if anyone's tuned in yet, but hopefully the audio is fine. It looks fine on my end. Can everyone hear each other?
I can hear everybody, yeah.
It looks fine on my end.
Yeah, it sounds good. I'm on my phone and I could hear it pretty good.
Alrighty, cool.
Hopefully I'm going through the stream. So.
Also, Daniel, is it fine, by the way, since I'm having issues, with gameplay on my end? We can just pull up videos from your past streams, maybe. Depending on the games people mention.
Sure.
Cool. Alrighty. Okay. So, first off, I guess we can go around, introduce everybody, and I guess a relative amount of how long you've been into fighting games. We could just go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and since Nick is on the right side over there, we can start with Nick.
I'm definitely the shortest time here in the fighting games.
Well, there we go. We're going smallest to largest, maybe. I don't know.
Who knows? If it ends up that way, that'll be cool. But I started. When was it, Ronald? I'm pretty sure it's like as soon as I got back from my trip to Tennessee last summer.
I think so. So that was is that going on a year?
No.
No, it's like half a year.
It's going on one semester. It's definitely half a year at least. So far.
Yeah, it's about half a year. So it's Nick, aka Snek. I personally met him through BB Tag. Him doing silly Batista shenanigans on Switch, and then we transitioned him to Uni from there. Yeah, I think there was going on half a year.
Batista shenanigans for a week, and then realized I wasn't actually doing her special moves.
Yeah, this man was legit just chipping us out with her super because none of us knew what we were doing. Good times.
Great.
So that's Snek. Check out his Twitter handle there. And next up, I guess you could technically consider him one of our special guests because he has a stream and following of his own. Dasamuran. Danny.
What's up? What's up?
I never knew how to say that, but if that's how to say it.
That's how you technically say it. I actually broke it down to Ronald when he made my logo. By the way, shout out, thank you.
Yeah, that kind of blew my mind. Not gonna lie.
So I wrote this like long ass paragraph for him, and he was like, "Oh, okay, that makes more sense now."
Classic
Freaking
Ronald.
Daniel Samurai makes sense now.
Yeah, so it's kind of a combination of pretty much like to just break it down. It's kind of a combination of Daniel and Samurai kind of just smushed together, but kind of like one unique way because I didn't want to do the Samurai, so I kind of just mixed, letters around a little bit. But to answer your question, I guess you could say competitive wise into fighting games and like to this Fresno scene. Probably a year and a half now.
Year and a half.
It hasn't really been that long.
Dang.
Um,
So I'm
one
trying
of
to remember the
times
first
that
tourney you entered.
Yeah, so like actually one of the first times I got introduced to the scene was Caesar was doing like an immersive demo at one of the Blue Shell battles.
Oh yeah.
And actually stopped by. So this was like when Blue Shell battles was still happening inside of Blue Shell, where like you could literally not walk
In the shop.
in
Yeah.
there. So that's when I first got introduced to the scene, and then shortly after, that's when I started. I was like, all right, cool, yeah, I could do it as well too.
Yeah, because I was around the time that, coincidentally, from that demo that they did, that's when Caesar and them started asking me to run the Virtual Fighter series.
Yeah.
Dang, that's pretty
So
cool.
I don't think I did a tournament until like maybe Virtual Fighters 2 or so, or 2 or 3 or something. I could look back, but I want to say that's when I actually entered a Virtual Fighters.
Oh
you
yeah,
know what, I
that
take
sounds
that.
about right.
It wasn't until you actually put Samurai Showdown on the actual lineup. So whatever number that was. And ever since then.
Yeah. Oh snap! Hey, Tiggy. Thanks for the follow. Oh yeah, and I saw earlier. Thank you, Shoals, for the follow. Also, you followed while I was figuring stuff out. Um, but y'all need to hear about me. Last but not least, we got Matthew, but his tag has changed like at least 5 times in the past year.
That's why like when I stream in part of the lobby, I don't even know. So I had to like straight legit be like, hey, all right, Matt, so what's your name right now? Because I was like, I don't know what to call you anymore.
I'm keeping it for a while.
Like you're keeping it. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well,
It
MattLock,
represents my boomer culture.
Yeah, you never heard of MattLock?
me, I don't think
He
I
had it.
have.
He hadn't before I explained it to him.
Yeah, MattLock was a TV series they should show back on like Fox, like around like
Man,
between
can't hold
like
down my
that
gamer
1
tag.
and 3 p.m. window.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're going
I know what's up.
Talking about name origins, there really ain't much for me.
Actually, what is your tag from, Nick?
That is a good question. I was not into Metal Gear Solid until afterwards. I just like snakes, I guess.
So you just
Cool. If you want to get technical, there is an anime. I don't want to talk about the anime on stream.
I guess we'll say that for another time.
That's fine.
That's for the that's
for the personal.
If anybody's watched it, they probably know what anime it is. Snek. Let's just say top Snek.
Alrighty.
If anyone knows
Hey,
the
hon.
context, they'll understand immediately.
Ay. Or go ahead.
I've been playing fighting games, specifically Street Fighter, since I was like 7 or 8, and
Dang.
I've been playing competitively for about 4 years. Whenever Street Fighter 5 came out.
Nice.
Was that 4 years ago? Frick, man.
I miss those days.
What, the early Street Fighter 5 days?
Yeah, man. Everything was so busted.
Matt, lead up to
How
Matt to
everything
always
is
like the
busted
busted
in
stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll get to that topic later. Um, but like I posted in the FGC group, and if you're not in the FGC group, howdy, those of you joining the stream. This is the second attempt at the podcast. I just wanted to pick a few of the guys' brains on what games they're currently into right now, and it's kind of just your chance to gush on why you like the games, or basically you can honestly just kind of sell, give your selling point on what's good about the games you like, and see what can get people into them. You know, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't have a
Who's starting?
well, yeah, I didn't have a particular order in mind, but um, actually, I guess brief side note. Uh, Again, sorry for the delays. Now I know that when I switch between um, standard definition games, because I was streaming P plus, when I switch between that and HD games, OBS has a freaking cow. Uh, but we're here now. If I can pull up gameplay, I'll try, but assume I'll probably pull up clips from like Dasamuran's stream or something. I don't know. We'll see. But do any of y'all want to start? Or do I just pick somebody?
I'll start.
Alrighty. Go ahead then, Matt. So I guess go ahead and... I said 3, but you could leave it at whatever number you want, honestly. But, like, just... You could mention the games that you're into, and then you can gush on them as much as you want.
Alright. Recently, I picked up Granblue, just because everyone around here plays it. It's pretty fun. It's nothing too crazy. It's probably the most, I wouldn't say ground-based or like neutral-based anime fighting game I've ever played. It's not super in-your-face compared to like BlazBlue or Guilty Gear or even like Uni. It's like stripped down Uni if you think about it. But
That's
I like
fair.
Jita. I like Eureka's. I like that she can get 7K off of 214 EX.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
It's certainly an interesting experience every time we play Grand Blue. But with your Street
Dude,
Fighter
so
background, it's
easy.
understandable.
I've retired like 4 times.
Yeah.
And I've only retired because I played Matt.
Dang.
What happened?
I said I not only retired because I play you.
In what, Street Fighter?
No, in Grand Blue, So every
You just
time
didn't know the matchup.
So every time I play Matt's Jada, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna retire. Whatever.
It's all a learning experience. Oh, yo, shout out to Phil. Phil, you're very famous in Sencal. And if you want to be on the next podcast, just let me know, man.
Get him on this one, man.
Oh.
I want him to hype up that match. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh my god. That's supposed to be a topic for another day, probably. But, actually, Phil, let me know if you want me to just pop you in here. You do play other things besides Smash. Kind of. Phil's usually down for various things.
Can I ask a quick question real quick?
Oh, yeah.
How do I get the Ronald icon on Twitch?
The freaking Ronald emote? Well, actually,
Yeah,
you get that
Ronald
to...
emote.
You get that
How
from
do I get-
subscribing to Waves Another One.
okay.
Twitch.tv/Waves Another One. Subscribe
I
to
was
Phil.
like, what the heck? I was like, I want to put Ronald's face everywhere.
Yeah, it was an emote for Phil.
All right, cool. Now I know where.
But yeah, Matt, again, especially considering your Street Fighter background, it makes sense. Grand Blue is a popular game. Pretty simple, relatively anyway. Like you said, it's not too in your face compared to other anime fighters, but there are factors about it that I'll get into later when I talk about it. But
Oh, that's the first one. Second one, as always, we've been playing it for like the past years. Samurai Showdown. I mainly
SamSho.
like it just because it's slow paced and damage is crazy, and there's weird interactions, and then you can, disarm somebody and cut them in half. You know,
Pretty sick.
family-friendly content.
Just samurai things.
Yeah.
It's a cool game, man.
What else? I haven't really been playing 5 recently. I played it online a couple days ago with Tiggy and Manuel. That's it. Before then, I hadn't played it. I've mostly been playing Fightcade, mostly Third Strike, and Alpha 2.
So like Fightcade as a whole collectively is kind of what you're into on the side. You do usually ask for
Yeah.
matches every now and then.
Yeah, I need to, but I'm too busy playing Brazilians that kick my ass.
Are you learning though?
Yeah, I learned the Chun-Li throw option select in the corner
Oh gosh.
because I'm a Chun-Li player now. Fuck him.
Dang.
Dang, abandoning your roots for Chun-Li shenanigans?
He's abandoning the philosophy. Just pick the blonde high tier, I thought.
Yeah, but the difference is Ken is only A tier. He's not S plus tier.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, then Wagner doesn't
it's
qualify
Chun.
either.
It's Chun, and then Yoon, and then Ken, and then Makoto. It's that order for Third Strike tier list. At least me personally, how I view it.
Relatively. Well, actually, does Chun-Li even have like a blonde
No.
skin? Like blonde color?
No.
Well,
Nope.
dang, Matt
Until
is
Street Fighter 5.
Matt went over to the deep end. He's not even picking up blonde top tier.
It's fine. She's not a charged character, technically, in Third Strike, so I'll allow it.
Oh my gosh.
Only charge in players are EX spinning bird kick.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Good grief. So it was Granblue, SamSho, and on the side, just Fightcade
Third Strike
collectively.
and Street Fighter 2 Alpha.
Yeah. See, Matt is a definite FGC boomer.
And besides that, I've been playing Resident Evil 3. I beat that. Been playing the Final Fantasy 7 demo. I'm
Dang.
gonna spend some of my stimulus check on that.
I'm interested in that, but
That's what people have been talking about lately.
Oh yeah, I got in the Strive beta, and I was gonna play it, but then Ronald hit me up for this tonight.
I too have the Strive beta, just to make
Yeah.
it clear.
Oh,
And then I'm gonna play Kai just because.
Blonde
Blonde.
top tier.
Yeah,
Ay,
I have morals and
I
standards.
wasn't
Well,
interested because I would have been stuck playing May.
Well, aren't you both waiting on Milia anyway?
Playing on Milia.
Are you waiting on Milia? Dang, are we gonna have Milia players in Fresno?
There's Milia
Me.
players in Fresno. They
No,
just
I'm
don't
just
come
saying
out.
it's gonna be me, you, Andre, and whoever pick up Milia then.
And I forgot Andre plays Cammy too. Dang.
Wait, Andre plays Cammy? Oh my god.
So does Jard used to, but yeah.
I'm
only
interested
reason-
in Guilty Gear, but
Everyone loves the
You
blonde
remember
waifus.
when Street Fighter 5 first came out, I was a Ryu main through and through, and then they did my boy wrong, and I had to pick up Cammy.
I honestly
And then I
forget
saw
about
the
that
error of my
sometimes.
ways.
You're a Ryu
Yeah,
at your
you
roots.
remember.
Yeah. Dang,
Ryu's
man.
trash. Why play Ryu when I could play Kage or Sakura or Akuma or even Ken?
I mean, true, I guess.
And they've given him 3 parries and it hasn't done anything.
No, man, he's
Other
top tier
characters.
now. He's got 3 parries.
That are fucking super bad.
There's
So
there's some weird shenanigans people do with those parries.
It's probably one of the coolest things about 5. Everything else is still questionable. And I still play it. I don't know why, after all these years.
You just summed up at least 60% of the Street Fighter 5 fan base.
I can't let it go.
dang.
I mean, for me personally, 5 is a decent game. There's things I like about it that most people seem to not like about it. More so in its direction, but it's definitely a different game, which is why people hate Street Fighter 5 and yet they keep playing anyway because it's kind of like it's its own weird thing that you
Is
just
it the
Street
Smash
Fighter 5
4?
players
Is it the
usually
Smash
don't-
4 of Street Fighter?
No, No,
Maybe not
I'd
that
say
drastic.
it's
Hmm.
there's other Street Fighters that people play that refuse to play anything else. Like ST players refuse to play anything but ST. Third Strike players refuse to play anything but Third Strike. 4 players
Well,
refuse to
that's
play
what
anything
happens
but
with
4.
legacy
5
games.
players.
Well, I guess
Yeah,
now 5
'cause-
would kind of be the Smash Ultimate of the series.
yeah, it's the most streamlined one. Unless you count Street Fighter 1.
Oh no.
I don't know if we can call Street Fighter 1 streamlined at all.
Streamlined for your hands to die. That's what streamlined for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, good thing Phil's in the chat watching.
Yeah, what's up, Phil?
Don't play. If
When
Phil
you-
asks you to play Street Fighter 1, don't play him.
You say no?
Oh,
You say no.
only fools would do that. Fools that don't like their hands.
Then again, that is fair. Both me and Phil played freaking Jigs in Melee. We have questionable
Yeah,
decisions
that's
with our
what I've been-
hands.
Those are the games that I'm into and then I'm looking into.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sailor Moon S and JoJo Bon on
Oh my
Fightcade.
god.
Oh my.
See,
Sailor
this
Moon S.
JoJo Bon's on Fightcade, but I don't think Sailor Moon S is on Fightcade.
Sailor Moon's not on Fightcade? That's kind of surprising.
Wasn't it only an SNES game or something?
I honestly don't remember.
Why are
You should
people
have seen.
playing-
You should have seen the freaking pools at Evo. You know, we were there.
Well, yeah, because that's why it's kind of surprising, because that's a game that gets a surprising amount of hype.
I would be at Evo this year.
There's a lot of broken things in that game.
Extremely broken things.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I like broken things.
sometimes. Well, actually, no. Honestly, a lot of people like broken things. But anywho, Daniel or Nick, which y'all wants to go next?
You can choose if you wants to go now or later.
I mean, I could go ahead and go. So we're just sticking to the 3 games.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then if people in the chat ask like questions or anything, we can talk about
I could try to
specifics
answer
more.
questions. I'm not the best at like describing stuff. But 3 games. Number 1, Samurai Showdown.
SamSho.
That's kind of what got me into playing competitively here locally, at least, and whatnot. And then I would say Grand Blue, and then Soul Calibur right now, or like my top 3, at least fighting game wise. Those are 3 games right now.
Wait, so Grand Blue, SamSho, and Soul Calibur?
Soul Calibur 6. Soul
Calibur
Calibur
6 is pretty cool.
It is pretty fun. You do have some pretty fun matches with with Sandy.
Yo, shoutouts to Star Deviant.
Star Deviant, freaking killer, man.
She's
And,
established pretty much as one of the best Soul Calibur
Yeah.
players on here,
Oh.
at least until
I would-
Andre and his
I would-
homies come out more often.
And then Matt, other Matt, goes by Silver Games. What's funny is that I've never met Matt or Silver Games, whatever you guys want.
Oh,
I've never
Allstate
met-
Man.
Allstate Man, yeah. I've never met him in person, but yet we play Soul Calibur. We started playing SamSho now that he picked it up, and Grand Blue, and I've never met him in person. But I mean, we play Soul Calibur pretty often, and all the rest of the games as well. So
That's cool. And actually, yeah, now that I think about it, because you were going to stuff more and playing more around the time that Allstate Man moved, right? Were you?
I believe so. I believe so. Yeah.
SamSho came out. He moved right before SamSho came out.
Dang.
Yeah.
Allstate Man, we miss you, dude.
Soul Calibur. It's probably the 3D game I'd get into if I were to get into one of them.
Soul Calibur is pretty cool. 3D games in general, it's a whole different beast. But thanks to people like Mason, Digital Sword, if someone is good enough at Soul Calibur, they can usually explain it to you in a way that your 2D fighter fundamentals transfer over, at least not overly complicated manner.
It's still pretty complicated.
Anything's complicated if you're getting into it for the first time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I know when I started trying to play Uni, I was like, what? I do what now?
Hey, Granblue, it shouldn't be that hard now, should it?
Well, kind of. Well, actually, I guess that'd be a good thing to elaborate on, Daniel, since out of us, you're the main person that's indulged in Soul Calibur a lot more. What are some things about Soul Calibur that kind of catch your interest, or what keeps you going back to it when you're playing these other games?
Ooh, damn. I didn't know you were going to come with such deep questions, man.
That was kind of the general premise, sorry.
I don't know. It's different, I guess, compared, obviously the 3D fighter. I don't know, man. I told you, like,
It sounds like
Damn.
it gives you a different experience than us playing like Granblue and all that all the time.
Yeah, it definitely gives you a different experience. There's some weird stuff that could happen at times, especially when you're playing really good players. You're like, what the freak? How did that even happen? Type of thing,
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know, man. Yeah.
Well, I guess if Matt or Nick would have an answer, I'm kind of curious. Um, for a game like Soul Calibur, what would you say? What would you say kind of keeps you from having that final push to dive into a game like Soul Calibur more? Since you guys like the other games.
The reason why I don't get into 3D games is because probably the movement.
Movement.
Yeah, that's probably it.
I could see
Movement.
that. Yeah.
And I've just played 2D games my whole life, and obviously I played Tekken 3 and Tekken 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, Soul Calibur 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but not like on a competitive level or anything, button mashing. But that's it mainly, is movement. It's hard to wrap around my head around, basically.
Definitely takes some getting
Compared to
used
like
to.
Street Fighter. Yeah.
Yeah, so like me, for those of you that know me, I pretty much play on a mix box, right? But for Soul Calibur, I actually use a left joystick.
Why is that actually?
I feel like I could do the movements a lot better. I could move around a lot better for some reason. I don't know why. It's just I feel more fit. And then when I transition back to the mix box, I'm like I play as if I've never played the game before. I don't know why. It's just, I guess, just has to do with the way I can move the character and kind of like execute the moves and stuff. It's weird. I trust me, it's weird.
Well, it's fair because when it comes to controllers and what you use, it's all a matter of comfort, really.
Yeah.
So it can't
The hitbox that I don't use.
I think that's another thing, is just because 3D games are kind of hard to play on a regular square gate Japanese stick, for me at least. The tension's not high enough, and like it seems like a lot of people play on Korean sticks or octagonal gates, and I hate octagonal gates. And it's just an investment of buying a Korean stick.
See, at the risk of going on a potential tangent, I still kind of want to ask, what makes everyone hate oct gates? Just real quick, because I like oct gates.
It takes longer to hit diagonals for me, and longer to go back to neutral, and longer.
Really?
I don't know. I just don't like it. Like, just doing like diagonals on octagon feels weird to me. Just because with the square gate, I know exactly where I'm at, and I don't have to worry about,
Because coincidentally, that's why I like. Well, I like oct gates the same reason I like playing on D-pad on a pad, is because I know what I'm pressing and I know what direction I'm getting. But if it's that easy to tell on a square gate, like what you're pressing, it's probably something that I would be able to become used to with experience. So, I guess that makes sense
So
then.
like I think, and like for me, playing on the D-pad, oof, whew, GG's, game over. I'd lose every day, all the time.
I started out on pad.
I cannot, for the life of me, play on pad.
I mean,
That's why.
it's 2020. Everything's on consoles. You gotta have a pad at some point.
Well, I mean, I have a pad to play other games, but just when it comes to fighting
That's
games,
probably if I picked up Soul
cannot.
Calibur, I'd probably play on pad, honestly, just because the face buttons are closer together. The D-pad is easier.
But yeah, isn't that odd to remember, Ronald? The fact that I did play on pad at the start.
Did you? Well, because I remember when we were playing stuff on Switch, didn't you use the Joy-Cons?
No, I used the Switch Pro controller, and that's almost worse.
Oh, actually, yeah. Wow.
D-pad, dude. So I started playing on PS4 controller.
Yeah, you played on Switch. Why didn't you play Smash?
I did in high school. It's just, I don't know.
The way he makes it sound like he's like, I did when I was younger. I'm not younger.
Like,
I'm not young anymore. Like I grew up.
I don't know. I
Dang.
can't
Are
disagree
we gonna
with
talk?
that.
Are we gonna talk shit about Smash?
No, we're not. We're not gonna do that. It's just the way he said it kind of made it seem like that. I don't know why.
Anime players always have a pedestal for their anime game.
Dude, I don't know. Smash. I don't know
Respect
what
every
about
fighting
it.
game.
Yo,
The only
Phil,
fighting
check your
game I
chat.
don't- The only fighting game I don't respect is Street Fighter 1.
Dang.
You guys are shots fired at Phil right now.
See, this is why EOL and
The
Donovan
reason-
probably are gonna do their stream at some point where they just talk smack on every game.
Well, the reason I had a Switch wasn't for Smash. It's for Splatoon.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
forgot
God.
about that.
Oh yeah, in fact, I guess that's a perfect segue into Nick to talk about his games. He's the
Let's
Splatoon
not talk
player.
about Splatoon. Let's not talk about Splatoon.
Well, you can talk about what games you
My
want to talk
love-hate
about, and we
relationship.
can go into your history from there, I guess.
Okay, yeah. We'll talk about Splatoon. So yeah, I got a Switch. I started my first quote-unquote competitive game is Splatoon 1 for the Wii U. I wasn't that good. 1. Come 2, I actually did get pretty good with Splatoon 2. My team was actually pretty well ranked in North America. And I don't know, there's no money in the scene. People don't want to put down money to get into the brackets. They don't want to pay to enter anything.
Paid under Splatoon?
The scene's not going anywhere until Splatoon 3. I can guarantee that. And that's one of the reasons I kind of looked for something else to do. And fighting games, I guess, is where I ended up with it. Because just out of the blue, randomly, I was like, hey, beta for this cool game, BlazBlue Cross Tag. So I tried the beta. It got beat every time, but it was cool anime characters. So I was like, hey, this is cool. Hello.
That makes
Can you hear me?
sense. No, yeah,
Okay.
that
my
was
computer
our
made
other
some weird noise.
other
was me.
special guest, but he will chime in afterwards. Howdy, Phil.
I see. But like, I just didn't know what I was doing, but it was cool anime characters, and I got into that a little bit, as little as you can say I was playing back then. As you said, I was just
Kind of cheesing all of us.
Resonance Blaze with Super Chippy.
Dang, I loved losing half my health to freaking Chip. That was great.
Great. And nobody knew how to punish it. It was amazing. That was, but yeah, I came to knockout with that, trying to play that, and then actually after the beta for Cross Tag, before Cross Tag came out, I actually did go out and buy copies of the 3 games that cross over in Cross Tag. At that point, I bought like Persona Arena Base, not Ultimax,
The
on
first one?
360.
Good
and
stuff.
Under Night on PS3, and I think it was like Chrono Phantasma or something. Not
What,
Central Fiction. I
BlazBlue?
was just getting some like cheaper versions, like the more cheap versions of the games than the most recent ones. Like I didn't get Under Night ST. I got late. I was just
EXE
trying to try out the
late.
character. Yeah, I was just trying to try out the characters. But Under Night was the one that stuck with me, and that would very much be foreshadowing. I was like, dang, this game's kind of cool. It makes sense to me. I feel a little bit more than the others. I mean, all I was doing was assault JC a yellow grab of Batista, but it made more sense to me. That was awful, dude.
Hey, it
I had
clicked
no
though,
idea what I was doing.
and you've stuck with it pretty
But yeah, I
consistently.
came to the knockout, and I played a cross tag. I stopped playing cross tag, and we started playing Uni, and that's my first game. I'd like to talk about the main game for me. Still to this day is Uni. Ever since the day it was like, hey, start showing me some stuff how to play this game. I think it was like, what was it? It was some tournament, and then you and Donovan had some kind of coaching battle.
Oh yeah.
Me and Phil.
Was it
Some
you and
coaching
Phil?
bracket.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
Best of 9 went like to game 9 or something. I lost obviously because I'm bad, and he plays Hilda, and Hilda stomps noobs. So
Well, and I guess we technically found out that Donovan's the better teacher in one way or another.
I think his first thing was okay. So you play Gordeau and you do
Yeah, the
slide.
Gordo 5C 5A rebeat. That's the first thing he taught freaking Grant. Shout out to Swag. Oh my god.
Maybe it was him that was the coach. I don't know. I forget.
Well, 'cause I think it was
But
me
yeah,
and
that's
Donovan
how
were
it
the
started.
coaches, and Donovan was. It was either the day that Donovan was coaching Grant or the day that he was coaching Phil, or maybe Phil
Might have been
hopped in.
Grant.
I don't know.
It might have been that. Yeah, I think that's what it was. I
Hey,
think I
Quincy.
beat. I think I beat the guy, and then it was against Phil. Maybe I don't know.
Well, because
Either
either
way,
way,
I was.
Phil had technically played Uni multiple times before. In
Yeah.
fact, Phil can chime in. He's been the Phil domain since whenever and was stomping noobs because everyone didn't realize two things. They didn't realize how to bulldoze Hilda, and they didn't realize that Phil freaking mashes all the time for some reason when Hilda has no reversal. And Phil would just beat everybody. It was great.
Trying to put it, he had to put up the image of safe frames, man. That's what you do.
But yeah, Uni's my
Light
main
punch.
game. The reason I like Uni, I don't know. Is it beginner friendly? Do you say Uni's beginner friendly?
I can
Because
get into
it
that
feels
when I talk about my games if I do. But short answer, yes in quotation marks. Um, sort of.
Uni, at least for me, was approachable. More so than other games, it felt like. Like maybe it's because it has a basic auto combo for you to work with until you're ready to learn a combo.
Yeah.
Like maybe that I think that helps, even though it's unlike
Auto
Dragon Ball
combo,
or
great tutorial. Combos,
yeah.
base combos aren't that hard to figure out. But again, I
It's
can
like
elaborate
the
on it later.
Persona. It's like the Persona 4 Arena style auto combo.
Yeah.
That's what it was, and I think both of those games benefit a lot from having that. They make them more approachable. Just having mash light and you get a auto combo.
It gives
So
a
that made
good
it
starting point, if anything.
It lets you get damage for getting a hit. So
Yeah. Very simple damage, mind you.
yes, like you very quickly rise in damage once you start learning actual routes, especially with characters like Wagner.
Definitely.
It's like, hey, for 100 meter, you could be doing like 2,000 damage more. You could be doing double that.
The
So,
match would be extremely shorter.
but like Uni, just I feel like as I've been able to learn the game and learn fighting game concepts consistently from it, because of the fact that defense is strong in it and the fact it has auto combos. It's like there's a lot to learn, but there's more things that make it easier to take at your own pace to learn, I feel.
Yeah.
So that made it a good starting point for me. I feel like a lot of people with Uni, they get intimidated by trying to learn combos first thing. And I didn't do that because I was like, dang, this makes no sense. So
Just start with the basics.
I'm just gonna start mashing. I'm just gonna keep pressing buttons and then Spiral Arrow and Shield Bash, and I'm kind of plus.
See, that's what Matt was supposed to do.
I'm kind of safe. Maybe.
That's what
Who
you're supposed to do
knows?
with Wagner.
Press some buttons and
Push
figure it
buttons,
out.
spiral arrow. You might be plus,
oh,
you
yeah.
might not.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You might
I
be
didn't
safe.
pick up. I didn't. The when I was trying to get in the uni around your birthday last year, SamSho came out right after Casinopolis, and then I picked up SamSho instead.
Well, that's fair, because SamSho ended up being way cooler than everyone expected it to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought I was just gonna do uppercut with Hamaru, and then I saw Charlotte, and I was like, oh, I can play this character.
I tried out SamSho, but I think I lost motivation when I started waiting for the PC release. That was a mistake.
Yeah.
Still waiting.
Biggest mistake in fighting game history was waiting for the SamSho PC release.
I mean, it's coming out. You're
Like,
just gonna have to
hey,
get it off
it'll
the
come-
Epic Games Store, whatever
It'll come
that
out
is.
December. No. Okay, when is it coming out now? 4 months later? Hey guys, you know it was supposed to release. We told everybody it was releasing last year. 4 months later, guess what? It's on Epic Games Store in like a month. Like, oh, great,
Oh,
wonderful.
man.
Yeah, wonderful. We brought it to Stadia and Switch before PC. How kind of nice.
Yo, shoutouts to Google Stadia. No one's even talking about that anymore.
Oh,
Good.
I mean, like during this whole
Anybody that willfully bought Google Stadia, I'm glad you got bodied.
Wait, no
Stadia's
Vega, no
free now
Nerd
also.
Press.
Can you even buy Stadia right now?
It's free now.
Wait, Stadia's free?
Yep.
It's free, but you still have to buy the games individually.
Ay.
Dang. Oh well, let's not talk about that. That's a whole nother can of worms.
Fuck
But yeah,
Google Stadia.
I did try SamSho. Maybe I should give it another shot, but I have more games in my plate right now. Like Uni, I feel like I'm still learning a lot, even though I'm in a pretty good spot with it right now. Like you can attest, Ronald, that I've definitely improved a lot.
Oh, yes,
With Uni.
definitely. In fact, I'm glad that over time, as we've taught you things, you're taking in what we tell you, and since you've been dedicated to the game, we've seen it in practice too, and it's really nice to see that sort of thing happen.
And then my second game is like many people here, Grand Blue.
Grand Blue
I
versus.
think we talked enough about Grand Blue last week. So people know what we're talking about. Grand Blue.
I mean, sort of. Although I wonder how many people even watched it. I did upload it, but we can get into it more later too.
I watched it.
But Grand Blue is like, if I said Uni was approachable, now Grand Blue is like, dang. Like, anyone can play Grand Blue, but it still remains deep enough for somebody who's played other fighting games to still be entertained by it as a side game. That's what I've realized. At
Yeah.
least. Like, it's just simple enough that, like, anybody who hasn't played fighting games even could play it and, like, do something more than, like, die. And
Oh no, my fairy gameplay.
like it's just like it takes, like you guys said, SamSho doesn't take time. Like you put, like, Grand Blue took that another step further. Like you can you can just go off of auto combo and be fine. You can compete honestly if your footsies are fine.
Yeah.
Just land a EX and do a heavy,
Yeah,
and
like,
do another heavy, and do another EX, and
And
then
that
super.
is at least half health.
like what's the optimal combo for this character? Okay, heavy EX, heavy EX, heavy EX, super skybound art. There you go.
You've probably
I mean,
you've
Link
probably done at
can't
least
figure
half
it out.
health or more, and it probably wasn't that hard to do. Maybe.
Like the game,
There's shortcuts in the game.
I personally couldn't imagine anybody being entertained by it, like veterans being entertained by it long enough for it to be a main game. But as I said, I think it's just interesting enough to be a side game.
Yeah, true. See,
a
and this
long
is why Israel Nerd Press, you could play Grand Blue or SamSho. They're both pokey, footsie games, and that's half of what Vega does, right, Matt? Vega's pokes half the time.
Oh, he would love Charlotte. He would love Charlotte. He would love Hanzo.
Freaking Hanzo.
Grand
Does-
Blue.
And even in
Does
well,
Nerd Press play anything
Would
else?
that be
Street
Lancelot?
Fighter?
Nerd Press has been
He
playing
plays
Dragon Ball.
and like
Oh,
Mortal
okay.
Kombat, I think. Yeah.
I play Vega for random EX wall dives.
Dude,
See,
no,
you need to
yes,
play Lancelot then.
No, he really does. He really does just jump off of walls. I've
Captain
played his
Cutie,
Vega.
thans for the follow. Yeah,
If you
see,
don't know
Nerd
how
Press
to
just needs to play
deal, if you
Lancelot.
don't know how to deal with the wall dive, he's gonna abuse it.
But-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
Grand Blue.
wait, just yeah, you just yeah.
Grand Blue, I've been the local Zeta main, struggling with the character until she finally got what she deserved this patch.
Oh my god, the singular buff that apparently makes her A tier.
Multiple buffs. You didn't keep track? She can use.
She
What
she
else
got
does
various well, EOL says they're more than
Quality.
quality of life, but it's the 2C change that you guys
Quality
keep
of
talking
life
about
changes that ascended past.
that
2C
go
is
even
the big
further
one.
beyond.
Well, one that's kind of quality of life, I'd say, is the fact that 66L comes out faster, and that makes it to where you don't have to worry about your
Yeah,
confirms
mostly
being
consistent
sneaky.
confirms, just not from max
Yeah.
range, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. More consistent on mediums, as well as allows you to not have to burn EX for light confirms.
Shoutouts to Zeta.
This Zeta is, yeah.
Oh, I guess that's also okay, because we always meme on Matt playing the blonde top tiers, but we
Oh,
all know
yeah.
Nick has a type in these fighting games also. He always needs the blonde waifu that has some kind of Unga pressure.
When I picked up Jita, I picked color 2 because it's blonde.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice that until now.
I didn't even notice that either.
Gosh dang
That
it.
was actually based on like a promotion between McDonald's and Grand Blue.
Yeah, I guess that's
Oh,
a
it's
real
McDonald's
thing.
base?
Watch
I thought it was
Giuna's
gonna have
video on
McDonald's.
it. It's apparently a real. I honestly hope that promo would come back and be in America, because I'd be down to try a Grand Blue themed McDonald's meal. That'd be sick.
What would that even?
Anyway.
What was it even? Like a hamburger?
It basically
Fries?
looked like a quarter pounder, but just with the word grand. I
Did
forgot
they
what.
Gran on the bun?
Well,
or
they were
something?
called Grand Burgers or something.
They
Watch
put Gran's face and Lyria's
Gran
face on.
well, not on the burger,
The actual.
on
yeah,
all the
burger.
promo material. Yeah, like the papers and stuff. Watch Anime Illuminati. He mentioned it in one of his videos. I'll put a link somewhere. Actually, I
But yeah,
forgot.
those-
I'm on a browser. I could just pull it up real quick.
But yeah, Grand Blue and Union Grand Blue are the two main games I'd say are consistent mainstays for me. As for a third game, I've jumped around between a few already, trying things. Nothing's really stuck though. I tried Melty. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
stuck.
did.
Just, I don't think
Yeah,
there was
man. If you're looking at the
motivation.
streams, this video. Check this out later. This video right here.
I tried Smash for a week when Byleth came out. That did not last long.
Wait, you tried out Byleth?
Yeah,
Oh wait, you did. I forgot about that.
yeah. So after that, I sold my GameCube adapter.
Ay, ay, ay.
Oof.
I sold my GameCube adapter after trying Byleth.
I forgot Phil was in. He's so
Smash
quiet.
takes dedication. Well, in fact, I was gonna get to Phil next. In fact.
But, yeah,
Oh, you play
I'm
Mortal
curious.
Kombat, Nerd Press? Mortal Kombat's another
Yeah.
game that it's only a
tried
handful
out-
of us have tried out or got into.
I tried out BB Tag again after a while. When you guys all revisited BB Tag, I revisited it for a little bit, but it seems like everybody stopped playing it. BB Tag's probably the game I'd be most inclined to try to pick up as a third.
Really?
But
Move to Merced and Modesto and play.
Yeah,
Johnson.
they're the SNCal people that play it all.
problem is I don't have it on a relevant platform still.
Yo, howdy, Brayden.
That's the other problem I have.
People that are in here
Cross
so
tag.
far are on this image.
My issue with cross tag is the fact that I don't have. I play on Switch.
Why don't you have it on PS4 again?
Because I bought it on. Remember how I got into fighting games? Like, hey, this is cool. I played the beta on Switch, and then it's like, hey,
Hit
this is
Andre.
cool. So I bought it on a Switch.
Bro, BB Tag is extremely cheap now on PS4. Like, mad cheap.
Before but I need to get all the DLCs though. It's deceptive. That's what fighting games do. They're like, hey, look, the game's like $5. Season pass.
It doesn't matter, because by the time you pay for everything, it's probably still less than $60.
Yeah, but
Imagine
I don't
playing
wanna
BB
pay-
Tag.
I don't want to pay $40 for BB Tag when I have it. Wait,
Try to find a copy on eBay.
I could let you
like a
borrow
second-
my
I still
copy
need
if
to
you
buy
want.
the DLC.
Just alright, just buy Yumi and that's
DLC.
it. Don't buy anyone else, just buy Yumi.
Bro, I play Batista and Aurier. They're both DLC.
Oh, dang. Well, you better buy them both.
Yeah, just buy all of it. Just save.
Probably will eventually.
And
but
BB Tag, like, there are still people to play the game with. In fact, I don't even think it's technically considered quote unquote dead yet.
no, I still think there's possibility of another update. I wouldn't write it off, but
That'd be
I wouldn't be
interesting.
surprised if no update. I absolutely would not be
Oh, wait,
surprised. if no
Delilah. Well, I kind of put Phil. See, in fact, y'all didn't even notice. I did a last minute edit to this image there. Phil's in the corner right there.
But
MK
if I were to
episode?
say- Oh, yeah.
when next time, probably? I don't know.
If I was
See,
gonna say
I
a
need to get a
third
lot of
game,
people in
though,
this.
if I had to choose a third game, though, I will plug One Step from Eden.
One step from Eden.
I'm kind of playing it competitively. Once there's online multiplayer, you can bet I'm gonna be tearing up the leaderboards. But right now, the only thing the game has is a very bare bones local multiplayer, which I will be forcing you guys all to play at local. This
We're
is
all
all
gonna
over.
try it at least once, probably. In
Yes,
fact, I'm
you guys
trying
will.
to. I want to check your feed without accidentally exiting out of Discord.
Hey, I can start playing right now. I can show you guys this game if you can get it on the stream.
I
great.
can try. I'm kind of scared. Let's hope I don't accidentally exit the call.
The main part of the game right now, though, is the roguelike single player. That's what the game was made to focus on first, before they focus on PvP later. But this game's just sick. Everybody should buy it. It's $20 on Steam or Switch. The Switch version is behind an update, like 4 updates, because Nintendo's update process for indie games right now is super slow because of things going on. But this game is sick. If you ever played Mega Man Battle Network, it's just like that, but faster paced.
Good thing I got it on the stream here. This game actually has gotten a lot of intrigue. And honestly, it
I am
even has
playing
me
this on
intrigued.
PlayStation.
I just haven't tried it
Oh,
yet.
That almost
I'm not in a position to be buying a bunch of new games and stuff.
Are you watching it right now?
Well, yeah, I have it on there now.
I'm
I'm just
gonna go through some gameplay. Is
doing
anybody here?
the.
Hello?
Yeah. I don't know what happened to them.
I don't know if
I
you guys
think
can.
Ronald's Discord might have died when he did it. Like he said, he was wouldn't.
Oh wait, really?
That's just Ronald's luck.
Well, hopefully the stream still heard some of what I said. But yeah, the game's sick. If you have like $20 to spare, do buy it. Like, it's amazing. Switch or PC, it's great. Just the single player is amazing, and then the PvP is probably going to be good when they finish developing it.
Hmm.
I think Ronald died. It's always the big rip.
Hello?
Yeah. I know.
Hello.
Okay, there
Did
it
everything die when you tried it?
is.
Well, no. It had your gameplay on the stream, but it muted me for some reason. That was weird. But I heard everything you said. I guess you guys didn't hear anything I said. But it's okay. I don't remember what I said.
I see. But the streams, I'm guessing you're no longer looking at the game.
Well, actually, Brayden asked in the chat when's the Splatoon stream. You sure you didn't want to talk about Splatoon at all?
I can. It's getting an update. Like they're doing a balance patch. Like
Wait, Splatoon's getting a balance
tomorrow.
patch?
Like tomorrow, yeah.
What the
They're
frick?
finally nerfing the weapon I'm supposed to be playing for my team, but don't want to play it because it's lame. Play
That's
anymore.
freaking
It's nerfed
wild.
now, so it's great. How am I supposed I do kind of play Splatoon a little bit with my team. They asked me to come back during quarantine, and I really don't have anything better to do when Knockout's not open. So
Well,
I don't have to go to college. So like,
funny thing,
sure.
for those who don't know, MattLock now. He's been a bit of a Capcom tsundere when it came to like the earlier days of Street Fighter V, like in between seasons when people were like starting to dislike the
I
game.
dropped it.
He
I dropped the
dropped
game
it
for
and he
months
came
at a time.
back, and I feel like Nick is the same way with Splatoon. It's only a matter of time.
I will come back. I will not lie to anyone. We'll definitely be back in the game with Splatoon 3, but I don't want to play right now.
At least you're honest, I guess.
Yeah,
Gosh,
I am
can
not
quit
going to be
whenever
able
he
to
wants.
quit, but there's like not much reason to play right now, other than the fact that there's a few tournaments going on because of quarantine. Some CEO is like, hey, I can get people to come out actually for once without a prize pool. But game's problem for a
Everyone's
while is
desperate for off.
nobody wanted to show up to events that had no prize pool, and they didn't want to pay into tournaments though.
They
You see
sound
the
kind of like
problem?
Smash players. No offense.
Smash players will buy into a bracket, dude.
I like how Phil's just in the background.
I'm allowed to say these things. Smash is one of the things that we've always been known for.
Smash will buy into a bracket.
You have run a lot of brackets.
Splatoon
man.
will not for the life of them buy into a bracket unless it is a LAN, like a Genesis 7, like I went to and was very fun. Like that's where the game's best. Is LANs are super fun, the community's great, but they will not buy into an online tournament for the life of them. Like literally the life of them. The scene's gonna die, and they still won't buy into a online tournament. Unless literally for the one tournament that was successful recently that did buy-in, there literally was people on Twitter begging, like saying, "Hey, just comment your team. If I think they're good enough, I'll buy it. You in. Just people play, please. I don't want the scene to die."
Good grief.
That's
what
sad.
happened.
That's super sad.
So they got like 30 teams eventually when there was like because it seems like if there are teams there, people will tuck up the money, but it's like nobody wants to be the first one to buy in, and it's a problem. Ever. And they literally had to be on Twitter like more in your face than any advertising I've ever seen for like any scene, like reminding people daily basically this event's happening next weekend. Cool, you should check it out.
It's odd
Most people forget
sometimes
it.
when there's a scene like you can tell there's interest, but they aren't like proactive with anything, and they kind of just have cold feet. It's always weird when that happens.
A lot of games in Senko.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but that happens in Senko with some games.
It seems like it happens a lot.
Ay, ay, ay. That makes sense though. But I guess
We don't have an excuse now. We can all be net play warriors.
Oh gosh.
It's your choice. You're either team Wi-Fi or team LAN. Which one? I know Merced is team Wi-Fi gang.
Team Wi-Fi gang. We're gonna start a gang war with that.
In Fresno, we have to start LAN gang or LAN crew.
We should start a LAN crew. Team kick my router, freaking Israel.
Team what?
Israel said team kick my router. All right. Well, since we briefly mentioned Wii and Switch shenanigans, that's semi a good segue into the Waves AnotherOne. Freaking Phil. Howdy.
Hey, Phil.
Another one.
Last minute addition to this high quality podcast. Howdy, Phil.
What's up? Glad to be here.
Well, I mean, everyone knows you're a Smash player, but like I've said, Phil is one of the people in our scene that's actually been down to try various things, but I'll let you go ahead and elaborate on, just you can name whatever you feel has the most focus from you right now.
So, Right now, I mean, is it just fighting games, or could I just say anything?
Well, I highlighted as what has your competitive interest, but if any game has like your undivided attention right now, you can mention whatever you want, honestly.
So obviously, I'm playing Smash Ultimate. Been playing Jigglypuff, try to be one of the best Jigglypuff players right now. Getting better known, actually, getting kind of popular. It's crazy. But I also, because of Final Fantasy VII hype, I picked up Cloud just because, like, when new things come out, I'm like, I'll play that character. When Sonic came out, I played Sonic for a little bit just for fun. But the more I play Cloud, the more I like Cloud.
Cloud is kind of cool.
I hate that I'm playing a sword character now.
Jig's natural enemy.
Phil gonna come out the other side of quarantine and be taking brackets left and right with Cloud, dude.
Phil's gonna go from being a known Jigs just being a solo Cloud player.
I want to, but I don't.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I hate it though, because I played Cloud online, and I'm getting kills early, and I'm like, what is this power?
Dang. Imagine not having to work as hard to take stocks. I can't imagine that.
Why would you put yourself at a disadvantage with...
It's like trying to play Landrakia versus trying to play Wagner.
Dang.
Killing 5 touches or killing touches?
This man referred to the literal case of the game. DK all day. Freaking Manuel. DK actually is really cool. Howdy, Manuel.
But yeah, I'd say it's character loyalty. I played Puffs in 64 until Brawl, and I played Lucas in Brawl, and then I just had a character crisis all of Smash 4, so I went back to Puff in Ultimate.
Dang, I keep forgetting how much similarities me and Phil share, like, with our history.
Can I ask a quick question when you guys are...
Huh? Yeah. What's up?
About Smash. So, like, my, like, personal close friends, they're all Smash players, right? I'm the only one that doesn't play it. Are all the Smash games really that different? Because they look completely the same to me.
The mechanics, I mean, they're pretty much the same, but each one has like something different about it. Like Brawl is really slow. The launching in Smash 4 is way different from Ultimate. Ultimate's faster. Melee is the fastest.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
If I were to sum it up, the more I think about like the similarities and differences between each Smash game, it's kind of Street Fighter like, well, mainline Street Fighter, where going from Street Fighter 3 to Street Fighter 5, I say it's a fair comparison to compare each Smash to those, where obviously the core game is the same and the fundamentals apply, but each game has something about it that makes it like wonky or different to the other games.
Okay.
So if I were to say they're kind of like different from like they're going from Third Strike to 4 to Ultra 4 to 5 to like season whatever we're in now 5. Each of those parts like in Street Fighter. Each of those parts in Street Fighter, that's how each Smash game feels. Where your legacy knowledge helps, but you still have to learn new stuff. You know.
Right. Smash 4 regarded as the Street Fighter 1 of Smash then?
Honestly, kind of.
I don't know of anybody who likes
Street Fighter 1.
I don't know of anybody who likes 4 anymore, dude.
Well, Smash 4 definitely had problems. That's the only reason I would say it's kind of like Street Fighter 1, but not like that drastic of infamy.
I don't even know what Street Fighter game to compare it to.
What?
And then Brawl's fixed by the fact that Project M exists.
Yeah, like Brawl is basically Brawl is like Street Fighter, the first iteration of Street Fighter 3, and then P Plus is like Third Strike. It's like a very
great analogy.
It's because Brawl's not a bad game. It's just, I mean, there's stuff about it that it's just
Brawl's
not like
Brawl's a questionable game.
Nobody wants to play it anymore.
It's not competitive.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically, actually, it's a conversation for another day. I'm not gonna go there. I don't want to get flamed by half the Smash kids. Gosh dang it.
The Smash kids.
I'm kidding. Gosh dang it.
No, your stream's labeled in the Grand Blue Fantasy versus, so you're not gonna get any of them.
Well, I changed it to just chatting because I just realized I'm not even showing gameplay, so I just put it on just chatting.
But yeah, competitive wise, I'm playing Smash Ultimate, de-rusting, so when I come back, I'm playing well. I'm playing Dissidia NT again because there's a tournament called
the game that got dropped by their developer.
Yeah,
That sucks.
But Final
Is
Saga.
that a fighting game?
It's a Final Fantasy fighting game.
Wait, what? That exists?
Yeah.
It's called Air Guys.
That's a Final Fantasy fighting?
It was originally on PSP, and I put in so many hours into those games. I have at least 2,000 hours locked into each one.
Damn.
And then the PS4 one came out. I didn't really play it that much. I played the beta for it. I liked it. And then it came out. I played it for a while, but like there was no tournaments for it, so I didn't really play it anymore. But now there's a tournament for it at Final Saga, which was supposed to be last month, but they pushed it back whenever the quarantine lifts. That they'll still have it.
Dang.
But other than that, I've been playing
Maybe
Final
I'll win
Fantasy
that
7.
game. Go with Carpo here down there. And we can try to tear up the bracket.
I need a team. It's a team of 3.
Wait, for the game?
Yeah.
Yo, bet. Let's get a team together. Let's learn this game.
And if you guys do want to play it, there's a free version on Steam and PlayStation 4.
It's a free version?
Let's get some lobbies.
Well, frick.
Show me the game.
Square released it so people could try it, and then if they like it, they could buy it.
Yeah, it's honestly smart when companies do that.
But other than that, I've been playing Final Fantasy 7, Animal Crossing, Doom Eternal, and I got the Mega Man Zero collection.
Oh my god. Yo, I might need to actually side question. Well, first side question. Israel, we had played Gang Beasts in the past, but we could play it more. Gang Beasts is hype.
Gang Beasts, best fighting game, dude.
Gang Beasts is clearly the best fighting game. But side note, Phil, did you ever finish using my Mega Man X collection? Because if not, I'm gonna need to cop that Mega Man Zero collection from you.
I could just bring both of them to you
Oh my
when
god,
everything's done.
Yes. I love those freaking games.
Did you guys play Gang Beasts at EVO, where you guys got in the ring?
I didn't even know
didn't
Gang
get the
Beasts was
belt.
at
I was
Evo.
salty. I was salty I didn't get the belt.
Dang.
I gave you a foam Gang Beast belt.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Dude, I would have tried that. What the frick?
I don't know where mine went.
I'm still wondering if Evo's even gonna happen this year.
I don't
Mr.
think so,
Wizard.
man.
Mr. Wizard released something saying that they'll address it in the upcoming days.
Yeah, I feel like for big giant events like Evo and Anime Expo, they kind of have to hold off until like the last minute. They're probably going off of the assumption it's not gonna get canceled, and then they'll cancel it if they literally are forced to.
I mean, I'm still down to go. I'll just buy a hazmat suit. They're not that expensive.
Just wear gas mask the whole time, dude.
If EVO gets canceled,
It's a cosplay.
I want to commit to Shield Break if EVO gets canceled.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I have a feeling that well, actually, this is kind of optimistic thinking, I guess, that assuming things get better virus-wise, I would assume that Evo is still going to happen, but it just may not have as many. It won't nearly be as big, you know? Same with Anime Expo. Like, I have a feeling Anime Expo will still happen, but it'll kind of be more on the DL. I don't know. We could see what happens.
Yeah.
Gonna cosplay hazmats.
It's cosplay.
They can't dispute that, honestly.
I could just tell them I'm a Resident Evil cosplayer.
Dang it, that actually makes
Dang,
sense.
it's the Resident Evil convention.
Just be a pyro from Team Fortress 2.
That's true.
Howdy. That is SonOfTill. Dang, we got a party in here.
Yo, sorry about being so late. I wanted to get on this Grubhub gig.
No, that makes sense. I guess briefly before we transition to Son of
for
Till,
real.
Phil,
Before-
because Phil mentioned that obviously we know him for his focus in Smash. I've said before though, he indulges in other things like freaking Dissidia. Um,
Yo, Brandon, be our third for Final Saga.
For what?
Be our third for Final Saga. We need
Yo,
3 people
yeah,
to go
Brandon,
and
you just
play
got recruited.
Dissidia.
Final Saga?
It's the Smash tournament.
Okay,
But they
hear me
have
out.
Dissidia.
So, Final Saga has Smash Ultimate, Dissidia NT on PlayStation 4, and Tekken because Noctis is in it.
Literally none of those matter to me.
Understood.
Dissidia doesn't matter to anyone, but we're gonna go win it.
We're gonna.
I have
Dang,
I've
man.
never played Smash, and I played like 2 hours of Tekken, and I hated it.
Dang,
So,
son.
up till.
Ah, frick. Sorry, I'm trying to edit something real quick. But
Wait, we need to get Woody.
actually,
Yeah.
Woody's another
Woody-
person that's
Woody
usually
would be
down to
down.
play literally anything.
I think
So
actually Woody would be a good choice for this, especially if you want to win.
The Street Fighter 1 Grand Finals, 1st to 10. No, not 1st to 10. We just went to Game 10. That was one of the hypest sets I've played my entire life.
because y'all are
That was
freaking
his first
silly,
time
that's
playing the
why.
game, too.
No reason.
That was his first time playing the game too, and you almost lost.
I know.
It was
Oh,
hype.
who did you almost lose to?
Woody.
In SF1.
Luis?
Oh. Yeah,
He
I
reset
get
the
Woody.
bracket on him.
I just missed who it was. Damn.
It was last game, last round.
Oh, you
Dang.
still got the W. That's what matters.
I just realized I'm running out of space. For a next, well, I was gonna say we could just jokingly invite whoever else wants to join on this chat, but for the next one, I probably will have another set of list of who's joining in. Anyways, still, howdy, Brendan, howdy, everybody.
Hey.
I guess now that you're here, I guess that's a transition for you to talk about what games you're into and what has your attention.
Is this exclusively for fighting games?
I mean, it was like in the title I put current competitive focuses, but like with Phil, if a game has like your super duper undivided attention, you can gush on that too. Because Phil mentioned that he's in Smash, he's like Dissidia, but also hopping on the Resident Evil and Animal Crossing trains too.
I didn't gush enough about Final Fantasy VII Remake either.
I mean, apparently
Gush
it's
about the
super duper
Butterfingers.
amazing.
Advertisement.
I think, okay, before we switch it off, I want to gush about Final Fantasy
Wait,
VII.
that
I'm sorry.
Butterfingers thing was real?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you buy 10 candy bars of either Babe Ruth, Butterfingers, or Crunch bars, you get in-game items, and you get a Tifa PS4 theme.
What the
The
fuck?
frick? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, Final Fantasy VII Remake is, like, I want to say it's a masterpiece. It's so good. People that are waiting for, part 2 to come out, I'd say it's worth getting right now. The game's just phenomenal. I can't just, it's just good.
Yeah, the more people talk about it, the more I can't resist wanting to get it, honestly.
Isn't the remake like only like a fourth of the story, but it's like as long as the original Final Fantasy VII?
It's a 2-disc long game, but it's Midgar's story.
This is like the first 8 hours of the original one. Yeah.
So they took the first 8 hours of the original one and just spread it out. Like
40 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well,
the
clearly in a
original
way that's still enjoyable.
So there's just more like details and stuff in the story then?
Yes, and it's so good. So the beginning, the bombing mission.
Well, yeah,
that's
don't
spread
spoil
out.
anything.
No, this is just the beginning of the game.
Okay.
Wait,
People have played Final Fantasy VII before, so this isn't a spoiler.
I
So
haven't.
okay, so
Continue, sorry.
Ronald hasn't played any Final Fantasy.
Be
No, I
careful,
have
even
not.
if something's the first mission, it can be pretty spoiler. You ever heard Danganronpa V3? You know what happens in the first chapter?
Okay, sure. So basically, the aftermath of the first mission, you go into this like the town, which was a 5-minute segment in the original Final Fantasy, but is now an hour segment.
Holy
in
cow.
I know, right? But it's really cool because you're walking and everybody talks. There's not like a single NPC that does not speak in this game, and
That's
everyone's
cool.
just like, there's all this destruction around, and everyone's just freaking out. They're like, I have a family. Like, we just moved here. What are we gonna do now? And like, you feel like the bad guy. Like, it just gives you these feelings, and it's phenomenal. The soundtrack is also kind of like Killer Instinct, the new one, where it's a dynamic soundtrack. So there's 3 versions of each song, and when you're like, say you're in the field, and enemies pop up, that theme will turn into the battle theme.
Dynamic music. I freaking love when games have that.
But like, some songs from the original Final Fantasy VII soundtrack don't sound like battle themes, but somehow they like transition it so perfectly. It's so good. Please-
Phil about to make Square Enix another like $300 here.
Please buy this game.
Yeah, Phil has sold me on the game even more. I'm probably getting the game soon.
I'm
Gosh dang.
curious how long it will take for part 2.
Probably a long time now.
2 years.
Probably another
Minimum 2
5
years. It
Gosh
could be
dang
5
it.
years, honestly.
Well,
I hope not. All the modeling is done. What?
Wait, what?
I said I hope not. All the modeling is done.
Yeah, but
They gotta redo the entire script from scratch and all the voice lines again, all over
All the
again.
environment as well.
Well, I mean, this one took 5 years to come out.
Well,
So
yeah.
like, if part 2 takes
Engines there.
SF2 had a
character
dynamic
models
soundtrack.
Are somewhat there. So
What do you
like,
mean somewhat there? It's a completed game.
if it takes forever to make, that's fine, as long as like they do it right, like this one.
Hey man, if you want to spend $40 on Ultra Street Fighter 2, go right ahead, man. Sorry, I'm replying to Israel.
I wonder if. But speaking of remakes, another remake that got some information today: SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom remake.
What the
Yo.
frick?
The game's lit, dude. I love that game. It looks so good.
Battle for Bikini Bottom and the SpongeBob movie were 2 of the best SpongeBob games.
They're some of the best collectathon platformers of all time. Up there next to Super Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie. I will fight anyone on that.
I'm not in a position to disagree because I
why are
have
we
no
talking
idea.
about SpongeBob right now?
Okay, well, first things first, we probably should let Brendan talk about his games.
Well, first I'm gonna plug Grubhub. It looks like here, because Matt.
Yeah.
3.5 hours. I made $76.
I told you, man.
Dude.
Oh, you're doing Grubhub, huh?
Dude, I am making bank right
Shout
now.
out to the essential delivery
gas?
drivers.
How much gas did it cost you, though?
I $10 in gas.
Yeah, it's probably pretty cheap right now, though. So yeah, that's
Gas
probably
is
pretty-
super cheap right now.
It is pretty cheap right now, and my car is old as fuck. So like, for gas, it's like, if I was driving a better car, it would be.
You should try to.
Am I allowed to put a
multi-app and do
Grubhub
DoorDash
ad
at
right
the same
now?
time? That's what I do.
Yeah, I'm
Plug it in there.
I'm not really sure right now because I haven't run into any lulls. Like my biggest lull was like 10 minutes as I was driving back from Sanger. Or not Sanger.
Oh, you went to Sanger?
No, I don't think I actually went to Sanger, but I went out past it pretty far in Clovis, I think. It was starting to get really hilly.
You were way out there.
I was like, holy fuck, this is the boonies. I'm in farm country.
You're in the
This is
foothills.
Shout outs to Grimjow's, Donovan's area. Freaking
Yeah.
the Rancheros.
The middle of nowhere. We have to worry
fuck,
about
I
being out
passed
there.
it.
You remember what happened, Ronald?
Oh.
oh.
Ah.
They're burning tires in the middle of the field at 2 a.m.
Oh.
in the rain.
It's freaking weird, man.
That is weird.
And you know, we're the only minorities up there. It felt like.
Oh.
Completely safe. It's totally fine.
I
Yeah,
was afraid.
I would be too. It really felt like So Fresno literally just feels like a gigantic small town with a growing like suburbia because of that. Like back in my hometown, the town is not quite as developed as Fresno is clearly, but being like a third of the population of Fresno. But I still had to drive out 20 minutes to get into the country. But that's all I had to do here in Fresno to get out into the country.
Yeah, man. That's SenCal.
Yeah.
Isn't SenCal great?
But on to the topic at hand.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to echo a lot of people here.
No, it's fine, dude. We're just talking about our games.
Yeah, I'm going to probably throw a curveball at the end. But so right now, I'm actually going to end with the game I'm spending the most time with, like, competitively. But Grand Blue Fantasy Versus is probably one of the most, if not the most, fighting games I'm spending time on right now.
Makes sense.
It feels to me like they're very close to being the example of a fighting game that I want, where the worst characters have very clear weaknesses, but they are strong enough and have strengths that allow them to steal games from the top tiers.
Very
be
true.
Competitive. And this could easily be a skill problem on my end, but I have not felt that in any other game so far. And so having that happen with Grand Blue is awesome.
That makes sense.
The combos are good. The combos are nice. You can go with the super simple and be happy with it, or you can try to go for the Link combos and get some real damage out and some real Oki.
I mentioned that a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saying that how it feels like it allows anybody to jump into it, but also lets people delve deeper, just enough to where it's interesting for players that have played fighting games before.
And it's a very clear way for somebody to improve, because these links aren't even hard. They're like 5-frame links.
Yeah, at least compared to Street Fighter and other legacy games, the links are definitely not hard.
Yeah. So you can learn them.
So you just did a link there on his stream. Actually, I guess a brief, not even really a tangent, just kind of a brief question. Phil, have you tried Grand Blue? Has Grand Blue caught your attention at all, since there's other games you've focused on?
So I have played Grand Blue, and I really like the game, but I can't say I couldn't afford it, because obviously I bought, Animal Crossing, Doom, Resident Evil.
Gosh dang it.
But it just wasn't in my line of games to get. But I do want it.
That's for sure. I just had a curiosity, since we have talked about how accessible the game is.
We need some Charlotte representation here.
I was like, you know me, I'll play any fighting game.
Yeah. And Charlotta is very much a Phil character, for those who don't know how he plays.
Oh, I can see that.
So
the ability that he wants, but yeah.
So, what you were saying earlier, how I was in Soul Calibur and Under Night, I just have a gimmick and people just can't beat me for a while.
Ooh, Waffle Cammy said he was picking up Grand Blue.
Yo, let's go, man. Oh, dang. Actually, as hype as that would be, then I'd have to deal with his shenanigans in Grand Blue, because for those who don't know, Waffle Cammy plays Urian, and honestly, he's pretty good with Alex, too.
He's gonna play Charlotta.
He's gonna find whatever shenanigans to get you, stuck in, and then he's just gonna bully you. That's what Manuel does.
What is the most shenanigans that Grand Blue has, though?
Oh, I'll get to that later too.
You don't have Teddy random items that you have to learn.
Yeah, there isn't anything like that honestly in this game, but
there's a lot of in the game's current state, there's a lot of privilege.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, but
a
I don't
lot
consider
in
that
quotes. It's more
shenanigans.
so just a few top tiers, and the rest of the characters are just good in their own rights.
Like good tuning on Gran. Like I don't consider that shenanigans as much as just dang. That's like pretty good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Gran's
I feel
just
like
He has really long block strings.
yeah, Gran's a
Like, on
Shoto
the end-
Plus. Remember,
Yeah,
we
look,
established
he's
that.
plus because his block strings are long, and you think you can press, but you can't. You get counter hit, and then he does EX, and then he does heavy.
He's
and
a
he does
Street
EX
Fighter
again,
top
and then he
tier.
does heavy, and then he supers you.
Yeah, he's a Street Fighter
That's
top
it.
tier.
yeah.
It's
Like-
just Grand things. The game is called Grand Blue.
It's
You
called
don't want him
Grand
to
Blue.
grand it up.
He's Gran and he's blue.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Do it.
I guess I just have the perception of thinking shenanigans is something like say, oh, like it's like a gimmick that's like actually dumb.
Yeah, that's something I
Like-
want to
like
elaborate
Lillian
on
having
later
Giggy,
too.
That's the gimmick, I'd say. That's a shenanigan. I don't consider something like just plus frames on a character being shenanigans, but I guess it's just a matter of perspective.
Yeah,
Plus frames are
that's
just a way of life.
fair. This is the Street Fighter player saying that, but it's actually true. But I guess before we like elaborate on topics like that further, Brendan, you can go ahead and like either continue on Grand Blue or go to the freaking Israel. Frame data is a state of mind.
He says that because he plays Vega.
Yeah, he plays freaking Vega. Gosh dang it.
So I don't really have. I doubt I have anything new to say to add to things. The game's beautiful.
Super pretty.
Feels well made. There are some outlying factors that I feel relatively confident that they're gonna tune, and hopefully tune correctly. As long as we just don't have a Guilty Gear Rev 2 sort of situation where they're talking about doing some buffs and nerfs, and then they buff one of the best characters in the game, and then nerf Potemkin.
The
Like-
infamous Arxis balancing.
Yeah, as long as we don't have a Johnny buff Potemkin nerf sort of situation happen, like a boss nerf and a, let's say, Percival buff, I think we'll be okay.
Now remember, what's the meme on Twitter now that grapplers aren't allowed to be good?
That's been a true statement for like 8 years.
That's what everyone's sharing again on Twitter for some reason. That grapplers shouldn't be good.
When Ladiva buff, and I think we might be there though.
Yeah, if Ladiva gets buffed, she'll be top 5.
She's already so close to being
Exactly.
so good.
Ladiva's right there at the cusp of like, give her something, and that's like the example of a good but not completely busted grappler.
She just needs to get in. Like, that's it. If she gets
Akuma's getting
in,
pretty
it's
filthy.
over.
Akuma's a filthy character.
You have to guess right, and sometimes you have to guess right like 3 times because her block strings are pretty damn good with the headbutt.
Yeah, Guapple Comedy just commented. In fact, if you play Alex, I feel like an Alex player, Ladiva is the character you wish Alex was. Like
Yeah,
if you played Alex in any Street Fighter, that's who you wish Ladiva was like. That's Ladiva in a
Yeah.
nutshell.
I don't know much about Alex, but I definitely see that from the
He's a grappler that
frustrations
people
I've
have
seen
considered
from Alex.
underwhelming for a long time.
Yeah. I'm aware of his debut in Street Fighter 5.
Gosh dang it.
But so I'm gonna just go ahead and move on to the next game.
Yeah, go ahead.
So no real surprise. It's kind of honestly because I'm only gonna do 3. It's honestly kind of a toss up right now between SamSho and Uni, between like who I would say I focus on more, or at least want to focus on more, because I kind of am not focusing on any fighting game right now. And B, both of those games are pretty fucking garbage to play online.
That's true.
Uh,
Can't deny that.
like,
Even
Oh,
Uni NorCal connections can be up to 3 to 4 frames.
Well, that's the
my
ironic thing,
God.
though. SamSho, as trash as its netcode is, that's the game that I've had the second most decent connection playing, which is odd, and I don't know why that's happening, but SamSho games are usually okay for me. It's weird.
I mean, Uni in town, we get like 1 or 2 frames.
Yeah, Uni in
It's
town
good.
is fine. Anywhere else, it falls apart.
The problem with Uni is that it's a traditional air dashing anime fighter where the combos are long, they're complicated, and so yeah, not really the block strings, but you drop something, you're dead. Sometimes.
Yeah, I was gonna
Uni's
say
Uni's actually a little
sometimes.
forgiving.
Much more
and
forgiving.
Yeah. But at the very least, even if it's not like punishing, it just sucks to drop a combo because you had a packet loss in the middle of your sick ass 800 hit combo.
Yeah, and then you just drop the game-winning thing. In fact, even like net play aside, just from knowing you and like what you like in a fighting game, I can kind of tell when you say that like if it seems like Grand Blue has the most of what you want because, uh, in fact, hopefully it doesn't sound like I'm throwing any shade or anything, but it sounds like Grand Blue gives you the least frustration, at least from my observation, in comparison to Uni and SamSho.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Because I feel like I can play.
Gosh dang it.
Like there are things in Grand Blue. Things in Grand Blue make more sense to my sensibilities than Uni or SamSho has in the past. Like the levers that they pull and the balancing decisions that they've made are closer to what I consider the ideal than any other current fighting game.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
For the most part, anyway.
Well, whatever.
What, you don't want Batista to get a nerf and then get it reverted with some into the version? What do you mean?
Gosh dang it.
I do think that they did some pretty decent things with the second patch that Uni got. I really like the changes that they gave to Wald. I still haven't played him.
You get to remain a walled main and go to. Oh.
Yeah, but I'm also like kind of enjoying whatever the Wind Girl's name is.
Nanase.
Nanase is the character I said you and Brandon should play from the start. She's a freaking Dragon Ball character.
Cool. Well, I'm not. I don't think of myself as a Dragon Ball character.
Well, no, but it was like the kind of pressure that you like to do. Nanase is perfect for that.
I don't even think whatever. I think that your exposure to me.
No, yeah, it's because I've experienced you in Dragon Ball first. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. So I can't really be mad at you for like, how the fuck do you not know that I'm more of a yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
Your sensibilities come out a lot more when you play Voss. Like, I really feel Brandon. I mean, Brandon, when I see your Voss.
Player.
Yeah, if
the inner Hakumen comes out.
Hakumen, I'm gonna be all over that again.
I will be over that too. I want to try out Blaze Blue.
And it's kind of why I really want to try Sora's, because it's close with his armor mechanic. But the reward is nowhere near as good.
Yeah, it's close, but it just feels like you don't get as well. It's not as drastic of a dynamic.
Yeah, like with Hakumen, you just straight up, you only get rewards. Like you stop the damage, you hit them with damage, and then you get a full bar of your special meter, a Matagama.
Fun stuff.
It's great. It's amazing. You have to read it, and you have to, because they aren't frame one, except for the Canary Super, but
something that you earn still.
And I don't know. If Blaze Blue was the game I wanted to say was my second, but I don't play it enough to say Blaze Blue.
Yeah, on a previous thing that we briefly brought up, Blaze Blue's in the category of games around here where there's clearly interest in the game, but the scene gets cold feet and doesn't really like commit to consistency.
It's a 7-year-old game.
One of my biggest regrets actually is Nickel Arcade in Fresno, they were selling a Astro City cab with a Calamity trigger in it
Ooh.
for
Oh, frick.
250, 300, something around there.
Okay.
Dang, that's pretty cheap.
And I didn't get it.
Gosh.
I didn't have the money at the time.
Oh,
That would have been something good to hop on if you had the chance.
But I do have a Marvel 1 cabinet, and I do have a Bloody Roar 2 cabinet.
Nice.
Yo, where's Steven at?
yeah, I was gonna say, Steven's gonna be all over that.
What is
Yeah,
Bloody
there
Roar?
might be a
I've
new
never
one.
really heard of it. I heard
Bloody-
you guys gushing about the remake.
It's a game for
possibility
furries. It's a 3D furry
Oh,
game.
really?
Okay.
thing.
Wait, what? How is that possible when there's fight of animals now?
I
Those
don't
are
know if
meme-
that's.
Those are meme animals. Those aren't furry.
This
Yeah,
sounds like it's a
fighting
discussion
animals
for
are-
another day. Let me see if I can
Bloody
find.
Roar is a
They
really
want
fun
stuff
game,
to
though. I highly recommend checking it out.
I was gonna see if I could briefly show some Bloody Roar gameplay, but searching Bloody Roar on Twitter gives. Oh, never mind. There we go. Okay.
Guy is like, where's this going on?
Yeah, you might want to be careful with the word bloody.
Ay, ay, ay.
To actually talk about those two games a little bit instead of talking about how they're not what I want. in the game.
We get it, Brendan. Those games aren't Grand Blue.
Those games are garbage. No. Um,
But you don't play actual Grand Blue app yet, then.
in
Oh wait,
a
you don't, do
vacuum-
you?
What's that?
You don't play
You don't hear
the
him
Grand
with
Blue
that,
Fantasy game, do you?
The gotcha? No.
Gosh dang it.
I have more respect for my time than that.
Hey,
Yeah, only degens.
I did
Only
that.
degens play gotcha.
I used to play
Dang,
gotcha.
shade.
you
What was
could
it
have
called?
got into it last month and been pretty good off with the free to play. Just saying.
Whatever. I don't care. I genuinely have zero interest. I have zero interest in any mobile game. Like
All right, fair.
Okay.
I have.
Side note, is
I-
this Bloody Roar? Because I feel like I might have found the wrong thing. I honestly don't remember what Bloody Roar is like.
It's a Konami game. I
Yeah,
think.
that's Bloody Roar.
Okay, making sure.
Good God, that is furry as fuck.
Bro, how? Okay,
Holy
never
shit.
mind. Anyway.
That's actually who I played.
Alright.
Eureka the half piece.
Continue, Brendan.
Okay, so I don't want to outright state that I prefer SamSho in a vacuum because I want to play bachelor degree in combo theory fighting games.
I've noticed you
use
like your
that.
combos, and you're super
Yeah.
into the theory aspect of it.
Yeah, I fucking love me some combos. When I find myself getting into a character so well and so much that after 2 days I'm making my own combos that are optimal for an 8-year-old game, which is what I did with Jubei for Blaze with Cincia Fiction. I fucking love it. Like, and we're talking like I had to do 30 different buttons into this combo.
Freaking complicated stuff.
It's
kind of how I feel with Wagner, I guess.
Yeah, I love that stuff. It's fun. It feels like a really great showcase of your skill and your dedication to a game. And most of the time, sometimes it feels like it's for nothing, but most of the time it also gives you the tools to even win some more because you have a better Oki state than if you had just done a simpler combo, or you brought them to the corner, or so on and so forth.
The reward can vary.
However, the problem is that Uni's like a half air dasher.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely much more ground focused.
And
CLI.
still none of the characters really hit the same marks that other games characters have hit for me in Uni. Carmine's would be it, but I'm bad at them. So
Carmine is, well, at least for me trying him,
So
Carmine
fun.
feels kind of hard. Not
yeah,
gonna
he
lie.
is hard. You gotta do some crazy fucking
Negative edge.
negative edge shit.
Negative
that
edge, you gotta
doesn't
do
make
increased
sense,
stuff.
Like it doesn't even make as much sense as Hilda's does. Like Hilda's negative edge stuff, I get.
Tisa, though.
I've never actually tried to learn Batista, so I didn't even know she had any other stuff.
Batista is on a whole other plane of existence, but we can get into that later too.
I'm not interested in learning her. She's a charge character. I don't like those.
Charge characters are
If they
hard.
have one charge motion, that's fine. But if like 3/4 of the kit are charge motions,
If a character lacks quarter circles, we have a problem.
Yeah.
But
so
you or sorry.
I find myself playing the one character that has the simplest 10-hit combos with walled side.
Freaking walled.
That are so easy to do.
You get mad at yourself when you drop?
Well, yeah, because most of the time it's because I'm mistiming something by like a few frames. Which I guess is its own difficulty, but to me it's not as satisfying to have accurately gotten the 360 motion at the end of his headbutt correctly. Like it's not as satisfying to me as sending you flying across the screen and then picking you up for more damage. Like it's less anime in every sense of the word.
Nanase.
So Nanase is where it's looking, but I'm not against her design, but it's not really what I'm into.
Well, I can already tell that Nanase aesthetically doesn't attract you at all.
Like, I mean, she's cute, but
she's just funny.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's fair.
I like her gameplay a lot.
She's smug.
She's smug.
She ain't even that smug.
She's
like,
not compared to Wagner or anyone
yeah,
else.
I'm looking at Wagner. I'm looking at Londrek.
She's like smug. She's like gremlin smug.
Wait, what?
Honestly, it's that kind of stuff that actually I like about her a lot. I really like when she wins and then she like busts out her phone to start texting. I think it's kind of funny.
It's immediate social media blast.
Where's the tweet I saw? It's so cursed. I probably won't find it.
Well, I guess in fact, not to detract from you, Brendan, but again, this is kind of the segue that I like doing. Where Daniel, you're still there, right?
Yeah.
And Phil too. Since Brendan brings up these aspects of Uni to where they have some appeal to it, but there's that thing that it may be missing for someone in particular. That kind of makes me think, like, with you two, Daniel and Phil, since you guys are people that have tried Uni, but didn't really fully stay dedicated to it, at least comparatively anyway, what would you say are the things that kind of made you not fully stick to Uni, I guess?
So, for me, I want to say I started playing Uni when I started getting serious about Smash Ultimate also. So I kind of just dropped everything because at the time I was also like going kind of hard into Soul Calibur. And
so for you it was kind of timing more so.
Yeah. I played Under Nights around, I don't want to say around, yeah, it was about Evo. So I dropped everything for Evo practice. I've never practiced so hard in my life where I just...
Yeah, Phil was on the freaking grind.
I would wake up. I had a whole like schedule planned out. I actually stayed at Luis's for the week at TFIG. And it was just wake up, do my daily like morning routine, grind, review VODs, just... It was a training camp, and ever since I just haven't really been dedicated to any other game.
Yeah, that's fair then. Yeah, that's just more of a timing thing since Smash has always been your main game too. In fact, since you mentioned that, Phil, now I'm wondering, Daniel, is that kind of the same thing for you to where you got into other games at the same time?
Yeah, I started getting into other games. And I felt like if I really, really wanted to get good at Uni, I would have to spend like a bunch of time on it. And my main focus at the time was Samurai Showdown.
That makes sense. No, yeah.
Uni's like a journey to learn almost.
Yeah.
Like you don't learn everything.
Easy to
It's
hop
like
into,
tutorial.
difficult to master.
Like the tutorial gets you, technically teaches you everything, but it takes a long time to start applying everything.
Maybe
Yeah.
this could easily just be me from my Blaze Blue background, but I don't find the system mechanics that I didn't find them that difficult to get a grasp on.
It's probably tied into being an anime.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there's definitely
Like,
variance.
Barrier and like even like Guilty Gear would probably have familiarities.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
I did enter Under Night at Evo though. It was a pre-Evo tournament at Esports Arena in Vegas, and
dang.
I went 1-2, but like people are really good at Under Night.
People been playing it for a long time. Well, some people, some of the players been playing it since like original Uni somehow, and then some of the other players that are like higher up have been playing since like Uniol, and from Uniol to ST to now, there's obviously there's changes, but it's kind of like with Street Fighters, the core game is the same, and it's just more character specifics and little mechanics changes that have come up. So it's not like there's legacy, um, not really legacy knowledge, but there's experience that comes into play, I guess. Players
Yeah.
like Squish and other players. Excuse me. So then, for you, Brendan, if you were to keep, like, if you were to give Nana Say the time of day, do you feel like there would be that inkling of a spark that would uh, get you more onto Uni, or is it still lacking other things that kind of put it on the same interest level as Granblue?
Probably. The problem is that I haven't had the opportunity to play a lot of Uni since the new patch, but the games I have played
Get
felt
on Uni after this, play me in some matches.
they have felt like nothing has fundamentally changed. The problems might have a new face on them, but they're still there. So like Wagner is now Hyde as an example. Like the
In terms of chip, or what other aspects?
well, in terms of chip, in terms of pressure, length, in terms of being able to get away with.
Guess what? Hyde has neutral too.
Oh, wait, or do you mean Wagner has become Hyde, or do you mean Hyde has become what Wagner
Hyde has
is?
become Wagner's.
Wagner's become her own thing, and it is dumb still.
Yeah,
Have you seen? Did you see what I sent in the chat? 2 hits to kill. It's great.
Yeah, there's that too. But there's privilege in this game. It genuinely feels like as if sometimes to me, it genuinely feels like as if the developers have some favorites.
They do.
And they don't let it not affect the health of their game. And I'm a scrub. I'm a complete and total fucking nub at this game.
You're not a scrub,
well, okay, maybe not a complete scrub, but I'm still pretty bad. And so there's definitely some things I'm missing. There's definitely some things that I'm not getting right, but I don't know. I need to give it a shot. I need to give it another shot with the buffs that Nancy got, however minor they were, with the buffs that Wald got, with how huge they were. I haven't actually played a game of Wald.
Yeah, we're kind of in an awkward time where, in fact, I guess. See, I'm like adding to the things that I'm probably going to talk about it if I go over the stuff that I like. But we're kind of in an awkward time for games like, Uni and SamSho, where, well, actually not really SamSho, because SamSho's had plenty of net play stuff lately. Well, not plenty, but it's had some. But Uni's kind of in a weird spot where like the patch came out, but then no.
The world shut down.
Yeah, then the world shut down. Like, so nothing's really outside from Twitter clips and people memeing and Red Blade going on rants. Uh, there hasn't really been any, to me, not any real exploration in Uni yet. Um, so it's kind of a weird spot. See, that's why I kind of want to talk about Uni next week, but that's be speculation mostly.
You can get a marathon of uni matches.
Yeah, that's probably what I was gonna do is pull up what tourneys did happen in March and see what we could speculate on and discuss. You know.
Samurai Showdown also came out around that time that I was practicing Smash Ultimate, so like I didn't give SamSho the time of day that it deserves, and then I let you borrow it for like a year.
Oh yeah, shoutouts to Phil. Okay, it wasn't that long.
Well, okay.
Shoutouts to Phil for letting me
Already
borrow it, and I
20.
totally became a god at SamSho. I'm so amazing.
And
Thank you, Phil, for letting me borrow it. Actually, in
I
fact,
got you.
I think it was Sandy before you that let me borrow it to get my first try in it. Fun stuff.
I bought it
or
off Tiggy because he hated the game.
Yeah, Tiggy, I don't know if you're still watching or not, but I guess we could kind of credit Matt's experience to you. It's just so funny that he just sold it to you then and there in KO. That was wild. The
I
Street
didn't want to
Fighter
pay
player.
the $60, so I paid $30.
No, yeah, that was a freaking
That's
steal.
not a bad price. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good price. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
for me, I buy games just to buy games. Like Mortal Kombat, I have all the DLCs and everything, but I don't play it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in our area, sometimes it is good to have a game for the sake of having it because people always roll up to a local or to KO or something like homebrew. Someone will want to
Yeah.
play something, and then if you feel like putting in the time or like just chilling with people, having a game and just playing with people can be convenient if anything,
Well, I mean,
especially if people want to play
you
it.
remember what happened in the last Virtual Fighters? There wasn't enough setups, and I was like, Ronald, I got you. I'll
Yeah,
be right back.
you literally saved a part of the bracket. That was great.
Because I mean, I pretty much have. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I have Samurai Showdown. I have Soul Calibur. I have Tekken. I have. What else do I have? I have Under Night.
let's go.
So I mean, I have pretty much every game that has been part of lineups here locally, and for the majority of the part, most of the games I have all the DLCs for it. So
That's
even
cool.
if I don't play it.
See, as a TO, I definitely should do that.
I find myself because I want to help with so many tournaments, buying all the DLC for games I don't even play.
Oof.
I've greatly appreciated that still.
Yeah, like when I fell in love with Mortal Kombat Day Zero, and then they nerfed what was it?
I remember I was there that night, and then the look on your face was like one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen.
I can't even remember her name anymore.
Day zero patch.
I just removed it from my memory that hard. But the bug chick,
Freaking Devora.
Devora, yes. Fucking loved her. I was like, yes, this is amazing. Look how good this high-low mix-up is. And then they nerfed the shit out of it. It was ruined.
What's Brendan's name in the chat now? Unintentionally, but legitimately LTG.
Yes.
Always playing characters that are quote-unquote low tier in some way.
Yeah.
Gosh dang it.
Which kind of puts me into my little rant about SamSho. I promised I was just going to say 3, but I guess we're really doing 4.
Well, SamSho was kind of your... Wait, Grand Blue, Uni, SamSho?
You said you had a surprise.
Yeah, I had another one that isn't really a fighting game that I'm still going to talk about later.
Oh, no, that's fine.
So
disgusting.
SamSho is I just like more than Uni. You know that meme where the guy that does that car show, that British guy.
Top Gear.
Yeah, Top
This
Gear.
is great, but I like this.
like this. That's me with Uni and SamSho. Like, Uni is great,
This is
but
brilliant.
I like SamSho. Like,
That's
at
fair.
its best, there's so much that I love about SamSho, but it's like the things I really like about Granblue SamSho is like the ghost of. There's an idea of the really bad characters being able to play against the better characters, and a lot of it's just my skill level, where I'm just losing because I'm worse than my opponent, and I'm more than happy to acknowledge that, but sometimes for some characters the budget balance is like, I don't get it. I just don't understand how they've made the decisions for some levers to have as much weight as they do.
In SamSho?
So, so I can get very frustrated with SamSho.
No, we know.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot.
frustrated with that.
Have you tried the new patch of SamSho yet, Brandon?
I don't think so.
Because that kind of might have just gave you all of your wishes.
That was the one with all the like across the board changes to surprise attack, right?
Yeah, surprise attack. Well, there was like various surprise attack changes, some universal changes. Well, actually, it's funny because there's a lot of small changes that add up to characters being both buffed and nerfed, and then the universal
It
changes
doesn't have an overhead anymore.
nerf. Oh my God, there's overheads. They just don't give you free freaking knockdowns. Like that, the universal change to most overheads indirectly nerfs some characters. So you should play the new SamSho pack because I feel like it'll probably make you feel a lot better.
So I probably should play the patch and just get my hands on it. But when I looked at it, the things that I find as a problem for Basara weren't fixed. As an example, I know that they like really hurt Charlotte.
Not really. Well, some of the things that
It did.
made her. Oh my God, shut up, Matt. Some of the things that
Took
they.
her away. I have to play Kazuki now.
Bro,
Oh, God.
imagine
Is it-
switching from Charlotte to Kazuki from one patch. That's wild.
I mean, she's been getting nerf after nerf after nerf.
And that's the
She's
ironic
been
thing. She's still
second.
really freaking good.
Oh, she's still good. It's just
A man can only take so much.
so and maybe the biggest thing is with Uni and SamSho is I just need to play them on the new patch. But part of my rebuttal to this is maybe it's too little too late.
We are in a time where some games may end up getting overshadowed because of the situation we're in right now. Like lack of locals being confined to net play, some games having questionable net play.
The worst.
Yeah, like so
Oh,
I wouldn't if you were to say like for some games it might be too late to like give them that extra shot. I wouldn't say to give up necessarily. At the same time, I would understand if someone were to be like, I don't know if I feel like playing Uni right now. I mean, you can play a Uni online, kind of. It's just not.
So Uni
Always the
doesn't.
greatest.
I don't think Uni counts because it's a new game. So, like, and then there was a month one patch. So like, that's not like that's definitely a new chance, a new.
There's still some fire there.
Yeah. There's no reason for me outside of just saying I just don't want to play Uni, to be like, it's too little too late. But for SamSho, it's kind of the problem. But I liked SamSho a lot. I think that Basara
SamSho's sick.
is sick, dude. Fucking when you actually get to make the clone fake out work, it's amazing. You feel like
and you've been like I've told you, we've kind of talked at like locals, and whenever we play, like your Basara, when you first started playing Basara to your Basara now, holy shit, dude.
thank you.
Like it's at a, like I've told you, and I've said this to your face and everything, is like it's at a whole nother, like I think if anybody, Matt and Ronald knew who it is, Bubba from Bakersfield. I think if there's anybody that could beat Bubba right now, is Brandon. And the reason why is because Bubba himself told me he does not know how to play against Basara. And the way Brandon plays Basara, holy shit, I think he would definitely get to him.
Dang. All right, yo. I hope you're watching, Joshua. Money match Brendan, best of 5.
I think that would be a really good match.
If only Skullgirls had some luck with it. Well, coincidentally, we might play some more Skullgirls once things are better again. See, actually, Skullgirls is another example of a game that there is clear interest, but we've ran Skullgirls in the past.
They just improved the net play for Skullgirls.
Actually, yeah, that's the funny thing. Skullgirls is one of the games that we all could play right now because it actually has better netcode than most of the games.
They already had netcode that people already praise, and then they're like, "Hey,
let's improve it even more."
I've never played Skullgirls, but like original lineups for Virtual Fighters, and you would get a pretty good turnout for it.
Yeah, Skullgirls is sick, and it's still regarded for me as the game with one of the best tutorials and overall UI implementation. Freaking Big Bad Mains. Oh my god, freaking Big Bad Man. Sorry, semi-tangent, but this is the kind of thing where like the world's in a weird spot right now, and where we have these games that some have an update like Uni that still has plenty to be explored, but the net play is shaky. Games like SamSho, where there's net play tourneys, there's still interest, but people are still kind of waiting on. Well, actually, I can't tell what people's thoughts of Sogetsu are right now, so people are probably just honestly waiting on Iroha. I don't know. But the base game of SamSho, there's still interest in it. But Granblue, you got this game Granblue that's super pretty, and everyone's going to play it regardless. So it's like games feel like they may really be vying for attention over these next few months.
Guilty Gear.
Oh yeah, freaking wait, no, Strive's coming out fall, right?
Yeah, we're still gonna probably.
Can I make a quick confession?
Saved with rollback. Too late.
I've been kind of playing it on the DL right now.
Oh wait, frick! I was gonna say you should have went live on your stream. I'll just switch to your stream.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. We're good. I turned it off. That's why I was kind of quiet there.
Does it feel satisfying? Like to play?
You know what? I didn't play it on my stick. I played it on the pad, but it felt pretty good.
Well, now y'all need to do a Strive stream soon.
I'm down. I mean, tomorrow is my normal stream because I do Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays.
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna stream it tomorrow.
If we range each other on ranks.
Wait, Brendan, did you get it too or no?
I didn't even sign up.
Yeah, me neither.
I pulled a U, and I just didn't sign up.
You. It's all right. We'll go into a Uni live.
I was gonna play Strive eventually.
I got lucky. I got the code
from Esteban, right?
Yeah,
I got the code. Yeah, from Esteban.
Bastard.
Esteban always comes in clutch.
Snooze, you lose.
Hey, you beat me by minutes.
Like at least Millia's not in the beta.
Second
been mad.
So for those of you that kind of like know the kind of characters I tend to, obviously during the beta right now I was playing Axel.
Axel's kind of he seems cool now because his aesthetic has changed. Not gonna lie, he looked kind of weird in Rev 2, but now he looks like a cool dude.
Millia's outfit just looks sick.
I am going to enjoy. Like, I still don't like the change that they made to Faust, but I'm going to
Yeah,
enjoy.
Faust
like,
looks mad scary,
creepy.
dude. Like,
Fuck it, I
he's
love
disturbing.
that shit, dude. I didn't want it to happen to Faust, but I fucking love that shit, man.
Gosh dang it.
What, you just love the aesthetic, or you like the character?
Well, both. I like creepy shit. But so
Calling himself out.
well, I don't think it's. I
Gosh.
don't know. I don't know if it's call out if I am willing to stand for Lovecraftian horror. Like
Right.
Lovecraft himself, don't stand. He's a terrible human being. Terrible person. A lot of his work is actually kind of problematic, but the themes that weren't super racist were really cool. But there's a lot of racism.
The stuff
There was
that
a
Yo,
lot of
shout out to racism.
With,
He said shout out.
I'm gonna get.
No.
I'm not even gonna be able to go to affiliate.
Ronald is the man that admitted if a KKK clan leader had a big box of Popeyes, he would go there, no problem.
what?
I forgot what the context
He
was,
admitted
but
this.
basically yes. Popeyes is yummy.
As long as Popeyes is there's a Popeyes, he'll be there.
I just punch the Klansman and take his Popeyes.
See,
Like-
that's simple. Why are we talking about this?
People who are just tuning in, they're like,
Because
what?
I heard racism, and then I just remember that outlandish thing you said.
Wait, what?
And now Phil tunes in? Oh my god.
Basically, Ronald's fine with the KKK as long as they have Popeyes.
Alright, now you're trying to get me canceled. That's extremely out of context.
Is it Jackbox time?
Oh, dang. Well, now we need to play some Jackbox.
So, I'm gonna keep this short.
Oh my god.
Because I've been talking for a minute. But for the last thing, the one that I'm actually spending all my fucking time on right now is League of Legends.
Oh my god, you're back in the league now?
I am.
Frick.
I am.
It's not Valorant right now.
No, I'm not. I don't really play shooters.
Isn't that what the league servers are being killed by right now?
They, as of like the day before yesterday, it looks like they finally fixed the problem. But yeah, there's been some major problems for the last like 2 weeks. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of League.
League never struck me that well. I don't know why.
I'm like 10 games a day.
Damn.
Yeah.
How long is the game again?
Like
45
minutes,
Lol,
30 minutes.
actually.
Okay, so at least the game has to be 15 at least. But most we're looking at like a 45-minute game.
Yeah, league games get freaking long, don't they?
Yeah, they do. But they've made a lot of changes to shorten the time because it used to be a problem that the games were stalling too long.
Sounds like a Ronald game.
Wow. Okay. Just so you know, my brother tried to get me in the league, and I just it just wasn't for me.
I got into this game 8 years ago. No, technically 9 years ago.
Dang.
At the highest peak, I was in Diamond, and I played against I played against the founder, Riot Tryndamere, once, and I played with him once.
Dang.
And then I played against Freak, who's one of the OG casters for the game.
Do you think you'll continue playing once the world starts running again, or do you think it's just the quarantine thing?
That's a good question. I'm having a lot of fun, but it's also like I'm playing with my old friends with this, and I'm going to want to spend time with my old friends. But
Yeah.
A lot of the reason I've stopped spending so much time with people literally across the country is because I've got people I can spend with here, and it's you guys. But I can't do that now.
Yeah.
Frick.
I really enjoy, and I actually really miss you guys. I really want to go out to Denny's with you guys as soon as possible.
I was about to bring up Denny's.
I very much miss that.
Denny's podcast, guys.
Denny's podcast.
I made pancakes from scratch the other day for the first time.
Dang.
Ooh,
It was, it
that's an
was
experience.
yeah. I made it a little salty. But
Single tear went down his face as he remembered the good times we once had.
yeah.
Hopefully, it's only another month or two.
Well, it's supposed to be May 6th.
Well,
They
like
don't push it up again.
even when it's quote unquote done, should we go out immediately?
No.
There will
I
be
think
a
that-
level of comfort that probably will take a while to catch
I
on.
think end of May, maybe.
Excuse me.
We're not gonna. I don't think that it's gonna be safe until we've made.
I mean, you
the
also have the
same-
rumors that California had it last winter, like November and December. That was what was going around.
What?
I haven't heard
That's-
about that.
They said that
A
they're
lot of
doing
people-
testing on like the antibodies in some people in San Francisco to see if that really was what was going around California, and if we've actually already passed like the curve for it like months ago.
That would that'd be
It'd be
freaking
crazy.
wild.
It would be.
I don't know. For
Well,
me, I was probably gonna hold off at least till we get into official summer territory, to see
Yeah,
where the
once the
situation's
summer
gone.
It's freaking hot.
Dude, I'm honestly, and I'm probably one of the more paranoid people here, but I would probably wait till late summer or even early fall
Late
before
summer?
you start doing things.
Well, that's why I personally I would just evaluate where the situation is at the start of summer, see what official things are in place, see how people feel, and then from
Yeah, I
there
probably don't
we
need-
just gauge it.
I probably don't have much reason to really be rushing anything when I still have college classes to worry about. So,
yeah.
like,
Wait,
it's
you're gonna be taking stuff
honestly-
during the summer?
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be taking one class during the summer, and
Oh,
I'm not even sure if I will anymore because it's gonna be online. But it's game design. I already
nice.
have the credits for the class. Because of CART, I already have the credits for the class, so I actually wasn't gonna enroll, but the teacher just said, "Yeah, just show up."
Shoutouts to Cart. By the way, you
You
still
know,
need to
it's-
send me all of your programming stuff.
Oh yeah, I have it in a zip file that I can do for you. Yeah,
Thank you. Oh,
I'll
frick.
send it if you just DM me on Discord or email. Send
Yeah.
it to you. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do over summer. Is I'm gonna do that one class. But
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be as interesting because what it normally is you do go in person into the classroom and they make games for 30 minutes and then people are playing Halo 3 LAN part the class.
What the frick? Oh, I just saw what you put in the freaking Discord chat, Nick. I'm just gonna put my email right there.
I was sending that when you were talking about Nanase.
I mean,
I was like, I
lore-wise,
saw this
that's
on Twitter.
partially accurate. I would not compare Nanase to freaking.
Helga.
I don't know if Nanase is a Helga character. No, quarantine's gonna stop me from kissing the homies goodnight.
Nanase's arcade mode summarized in one image.
Gosh dang it. Well, hopefully, things change for the better in the near
Yes.
future. We could take some time in a bit to, I guess, address any other additional questions or have people gush about anything else they want to elaborate on, or I could probably talk about what I was going to talk about. So I just realized I didn't even talk about what I was going to talk about yet.
Dope.
Oh, well, y'all already know me. And those of you that have known me, I'd say at least the past year, you probably have gotten an idea of the kind of games I play and what I like in fighting games. Freaking Phil. As you could probably tell from my usual rambling and my tendency to like helping people understand things, I consider myself a fairly analytical player, and that's why you already know the 3 games that I like / care about being good at are Granblue, SamSho, and Uni.
Play Strangers though.
I will get to that actually, because even though you're in denial of how much similarities there are to Blade Strangers, I'm gonna elaborate on that real quick. I'm gonna see if Okay,
I have no doubt
so
that Granblue is similar to Blade Strangers. The Granblue looks better.
yes, we understand that. Gosh dang it. So gameplay kind of works now, but okay, no fighters, I sleep. Okay, so to be fair, for people that also know me, they know that I indulge in tag team fighters, but I kind of just play them when people ask me to, because tag team fighters have a lot of shenanigans. There's a lot of stuff going on, and there's complexity that just creates pure chaos. As you guys know, when you play me, I'm a very methodical and lame player, so I like. Not only do I usually like slower-paced games, but I like games that have mechanics or systems in place that reward knowledge and good decision making. Um, Granblue, honestly, to me, does not have that. But the reason
Hmm.
I like Granblue is kind of the package as a whole. Even though people seem to have mixed opinions on RPG mode, even though people seem to not like when games get simpler, I was one of the people that at first did not feel very impressed from Granblue when it was coming out, but once I played this game, I really like Granblue as like a whole package because me personally, I have enjoyed RPG mode and it severely has distracted me. I like that the game. In fact, I'll get back to versus mode, but I like how the game plays for the most part. Um, the tutorial in this game goes over. Actually, in fact, I guess you could consider this tutorial adequately robust because it goes over a lot of fighting game basics. Like, look at all this stuff. It goes over fighting game basics. It goes over each character's move list. It goes over combo trials, and there's even a freaking uh, there's trials for how to punish certain things that they knew people like scrubs would be like cheesed by. Like, there's a lot of stuff in this game that give it a complete package that I think out like it bests the majority of fighting games out right now, at least. Um, Especially considering at first, in fact, I don't know if any of you felt the same way, but when the game was first shown, people thought this is just a cash grab. This game looks super bare bones and lame, but this game has actually like caught my attention a lot. And even though I guess now I can go into versus, um, the game as a whole, at first I thought it was pretty much I thought it was anime SamSho. Like, the game is like super duper basic footsies, but right now there are some like there's a tiny bit of anime degeneracy in this game, but it's probably all gonna go away, honestly. Um, in fact, I thought I heard you possibly gonna make a remark, Brendan, but um, basically in this game, there's no, there aren't really any system mechanics that how do I phrase it? There aren't any system mechanics that really add insightful decisions for offense and defense. It's still a lot more footsies and fundamentals because there's no defensive mechanic in this game aside from dodging and rolling. Uh, just defending does nothing. Let's be honest. Uh, and there isn't really any sort of offensive mechanic either that lets you amplify your pressure, like canceling or anything. So the game itself it has that SamSho aspect where it is footsies, which is I like. But it's like a it's not mild spice. It's like it's a step up between mild and medium spice. It's like SamSho with like medium spice. That's this game, which for me is pretty fun as a whole. And it kind of has that thing with SamSho where it's the perfect side game. Nick has said it, Daniel said it. It seems like everyone's basically said it to where this game, you can pick up a character in like probably minutes, if not an hour, if you're really going that deep. Um, His spice unga. Well, there is some unga in this game, definitely, which oddly enough is going to get toned down towards the end of this month.
Everyone's gonna be at least Gran and Catalina. They're gonna be bounced.
Yeah,
like,
the top four are going to be nerfed, and at that point, I have a very strong feeling that normalizing those four top tiers is going to make this game even more like an anime SamSho. Excuse me, to where it's basic fundamentals, but it's a nice, pretty anime game, and you can do some cool stuff in it. Uh, so, in a nutshell, that's why I like this game. And even in our scene, in fact, shoutouts to Donovan, Coco Twinkie. He has said that it seems like sometimes, in fact, all of you in this podcast right now, you can just let me know if you agree or not. Coco Twinkie has said that there does seem to be a tendency in our area where a lot of people hop on the flavor of the week game.
Yeah.
First off, I'm curious, do you guys agree with that?
Um.
From my experience, yes.
Yeah.
Or not even flavor of the week. It's just like people hop on to. It's not even like flavor of the week. Isn't like a community trend. It's like, oh, they try out a game and it's like, cool, you're trying out Uni, and then they stop playing.
I'm gonna say this. I think that we have a honestly, it's hard to even say that we've. I don't want to go there. I was gonna say it's hard to say we have a community in that sense because we do.
What, for Grambler or in general?
Well, just in general, because we certainly do. It's just like feels like with every new game, we get one, maybe two new people that like joins the fold. They will join the pack as we go to a new game. Most of the time.
I want to say an example is Mortal Kombat 11. When we did the launch tournament for that, it was huge.
Oh yeah.
And then after
Howdy.
that, I didn't really see anybody really playing Mortal Kombat anymore. I think it's just
It was
Braden.
the garbage day zero patch.
Oh my god, that's what broke it for for Brendan and various
Because
people.
Brendan's-
Devore getting nerfed.
So you have Brendan, David, and Luis playing Mortal
Or
Kombat.
Braden, David, Luis, and there's a other handful of like Fresno and Bakersfield people that play Mortal Kombat, but they're the people that they've actually reached out to me and said that they're constantly working. Every time I invite them to an event, they can never make it out. There's like a tier of Sencal games where there's the people that play, but they just can't make it out to anything.
Didn't you have to drop it off of one of the virtual fighters because nobody showed up?
I think, well, I mean, I technically never drop a game out of a lineup. It's just more
Well,
so
no,
I
like-
have it in the lineup and then no one comes.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat, that has happened. I won't deny that. That there's been events where literally no one shows up for Mortal Kombat or other games, which it is what it is. Sometimes that happens.
I think it's usually only David that shows up because he's also there for Tekken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
David's also a multi-game guy, which that's where I partially, I feel like it's half true, where we're a region that obviously not everyone is as competitively driven, so it's more like there's a lot of people that indulge in various games, but aren't full-heartedly into a particular game outside of just occasional casual play. So that's why I can probably feel like a lot of people go to the newest game because obviously everyone's going to play the game that's cool, that's new, everyone's playing, because they're there more so for the social aspect and they like hanging out and playing games. So that's why I don't know if people have that tendency fully outright, but it ends up that way. But that's kind of why I asked you guys that, because Granblue, and I'll get into it in SamSho also, but Granblue is an example of that kind of game that it's kept people enticed in that kind of demographic where the game is simple enough but appealing enough to where it retains everybody, you know, because literally all of us right now, except for Phil, have said that we're playing Grand Blue, and a bunch of people in the FresGC group are playing Grand Blue. It's like the again, it's the one of the perfect side games, because at the start you probably don't need heavy commitment to get into this game. You can play super basic fundamentals. Like Nick said, someone can technically get away with auto comboing the whole time. It's gonna take you forever, but you can auto combo the whole time in this game. Um, so it's why it's I guess that all leads back to what I said about Grand Blue. It feels honestly like it's hard for me to say it, but Grand Blue kind of feels more of a complete package than Uni. Uh, just gameplay wise, it isn't fully what I like, which I guess I'll elaborate on when I get to Uni. But before Uni, I'm not even gonna bother putting the SamSho disc in. I'll probably put on someone's stream, but y'all already know my second game is SamSho. Um, again because I like slow methodical play that rewards knowledge and decision making, and never was into like the old like super OG Samurai Showdowns like Jose and other people had been that like know the games. I've told people before I've probably played like an older Sam show at some point in my life in a ghetto laundromat. Probably like that's the only memory I have of Sam show.
At one point.
Yeah, I feel like that's been like most people. Or at some point, you go to some rundown laundromat, you see Sam show on an arcade cabinet, and like you accidentally kill yourself somehow, and then it's like, wow, what the frick is this game? That's most people's introduction to Samurai Showdown, probably early years. But when this Samurai Showdown came out, uh, I love this game. Samurai Showdown is so freaking cool. Not only just like aesthetically, where it's kind of a pretty game. Everything you do has impact. Um, like it's just cool when you land stuff and do stuff. But even mechanically, it's fair. I mean, for me, I understand. For some people, the game is way too slow. There's like no combos, yada yada yada. Okay, fine, fair. But for me, when a game, I like when your decisions have weight. Um, but like not in the degenerate anime sense where you're literally just doing 50-50s that you can't see. Uh, in SamSho, most interactions are on the player. Um, that's why I called SamSho like 80% footsies, 20% anime. Because the whole design of SamSho appeals to me a lot. Where it's super duper simple, extremely simple. I think it's the easiest game out right now. But
Yeah.
there's so much about it that relies on your fundamentals that, like I said, a lot of SamSho is just satisfying because you're poking, you're doing shimmies, and you get a hard read. The crowd, crowd's family, probably their ancestors, everyone feels it when you get like a good read in SamSho. Like the SSMs,
hard.
everything. What?
Yeah. I was gonna say it's hard to find something that comes close, and it's not really a read; it's more just a punish. But when you weapon flip somebody and then SSM them as they pick it up,
Yeah. Oh
that
man.
is so satisfying.
It's like I knew you were gonna do that. You are probably dead. GG's.
You are
Let's
dead.
play again. Like
Yeah.
SamSho is very satisfying in that regard, and for me personally, it makes it satisfying to teach also, because it's a game that I encourage anyone to play if you play any game ever, because you're gonna one way or another you're gonna improve your fundamentals. You're gonna one thing that I forgot what we were talking about before. I think it was me and you, Daniel. But SamSho, to me, is like one of the best games at teaching the concept of risk reward,
Yeah.
because everything you do, even just like doing a light attack, can like lose you a game, but it's not in like the sense of like a nutty anime interaction where someone did a 360 super dash and somehow like connected to you. It's you did something that was unsafe. They were in rage explosion. Why the frick did you whiff a button? Now you got ESIN. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, for me, when I lose in SamSho, it's very hard for me to feel like I got bamboozled because you probably got read or you did something unsafe. And SamSho, as in its design, it fits that. Like it does that well to me because you have a deflect mechanic, parry mechanic, whatever. You have a dodge. You have a just defend that actually does something. No offense to Grand Blue. Um, and like what Brendan said, well, with what you said, Brendan, about like character balance and what lower tiers can do, it seems like you were praising Grand Blue much more for that. But honestly, I feel like that applies a lot to SamSho also. I feel bamboozled every. Yeah, DBZ. It's very hard to not feel bamboozled. Israel. Uh, but in SamSho, usually players have agreed that like even the lower tiers, quote unquote, in SamSho, they have what they need to win. You're just clearly working harder. But that's kind of like that's the only uh, situation where I feel SamSho is in a weird spot where some of the lower tiers in SamSho seem super duper underexplored because there aren't any like majors to showcase like high level play with the lower tiers. Um, I don't know if a lot of net play tourneys besides Wednesday night fights or other things get a lot of attention. Um, in fact, that's
Stop
why
doing those Japanese tournaments that had all those low tier players.
So
Oh, go ahead, Brandon.
I think I'm right there with you on that, on the fact that these low tiers are just underexplored. Because I genuinely think that Rusheng, if people actually had put in the time that you have into her, um, there would be tournament results with her. Like, there would be, oh fuck, no, she's actually A+ tier.
Thank you.
Like I, and this could just be the difference in our skill level, but you make Rushane look as privileged as Charlotte.
Dang, really? Frig.
Yeah.
That's because you guys have seen how many times we played.
Yeah.
Well, that's why part of me low key. Well, every patch that's come out, I've loved the SamSho patches and the direction they've gone. But part of me, every time a SamSho patch comes out, I'm low key worried. Like, please don't change Roy Shang too much because no one's like we haven't seen anything with her. And honestly, I think there's other characters in SamSho. In fact, actually, like, well, I mean, people seem to agree that Rimuru is like not great, but at the same time, Rimuru is another character like we haven't seen squat with her. So like these lower tier characters, part of me is worried that like they're gonna change them a whole bunch before like they get explored. But so far that hasn't happened yet, and I'm glad.
I doubt it. That's not a thing in fighting games. Changing characters fundamentally.
Before they're explored or whatever.
Yeah, that's not a problem in fighting games, I think. Like, it's just not in the culture. I think that there's so many old heads that still play fighting games that make up so much of their player base that hate even the idea of a single patch coming to a single fighting game. That I'm being a little hyperbolic here, but
Well, actually, it's funny that you said that because Matt in the chat says it is a big problem. I'm wondering if he means that in Tekken or referring to other games. Because typically in like the legacy games, or at least newer iterations of the legacy games, the lower tiers get touched after the fact of people um, speculating their low tier, but no one like actually pushing them to their full potential, or it's when the high tiers get super duper nerfed and then people explore the lower tiers. At least that's what it seems like has usually happened in like games like Street Fighter and Tekken. I don't know. But Matt, feel free to elaborate on that. But continue, Brendan. Sorry.
Um, I'm. I think that just in terms of specifics, I think that Rimuru, as it stands, is one of those characters that kind of not that doesn't work because you've beaten all of us with her before, but when you haven't gotten into somebody's head and tilted them off the face of the earth, like that has happened to me. I think that Rimuru has a ton of problems.
Yeah, well,
that
I don't know if it's dysfunctionality. It might just be lacking things.
Yeah, and I feel like her and this is just kind of my own bias here, but like her and Basara are two of those sorts of characters that have that struggle.
Oh, go ahead. I'm just thinking.
And the reasoning that I have for Basara is that Basara's abilities are so slow that you can't punish people off of your clone if they throw out a 2U or a 2L.
Oh, that's where you'd say it's in the realm of they have their well, because this is what I always think when it comes to characters with longer range. You're supposed to keep them in an ideal range where where you're enforcing your tools and they're not enforcing their tools. But is that where it's in a realm of dysfunctionality where you feel that when you use the tools he has, you don't capitalize off of them, like with clones, for example?
Yeah, we've had a few games.
Oh wait, yeah, where I kind of imagine already where, well, not imagine. I remember where there would be times where you threw a clone, and I don't know if you try to punish me jumping or something, but I'm still good because you do like a heavy or something.
Yeah,
that's what that's what I'm recalling.
So you're doing like a two kick, 2K after the clone dashes in, and then I throw out a heavy because it's the only thing that's going to reach at this range, and you're able to recover in time, block it, and then punish me.
Yikes.
that's dysfunctional. That's a
I'd say, yeah, for the most part, although there'd probably be a thing where I'd want to do like analysis of specific situations to see if there is a better alternative, like being slightly closer, doing a medium or dash it, something that's like specifics that I feel would require analysis. But your main point I do understand, and I've felt usually in these situations they're things that I would want to like fully try to explore and elaborate on. But Rimu, Basara, who else did people put in that lower tier?
Lushane is one that people put.
Yeah, to me, Wu
and Earthquake.
To me, Wu has stuff. Earthquake also has stuff. Earthquake can implement his game plan just freaking fine. Current team 5 can change a lot without having. Well, yeah. In fact, Matt, we're also in a different time period now. Where back then there weren't even freaking patches. There were literal sequels to games that would attempt to fix things.
Yeah.
And now we're in an era where something can be changed, and it's just up to the developer whether or not they feel it has to be addressed. Which is also why sometimes I'm not like too quick to try to say some. I mean, actually, you guys always rag on me for being too optimistic, but that's still usually why I'm not too quick to say right off something is bad or like busted, because we're in that era where things can have time to be explored and then they can be patched at the touch of a freaking button. Day zero apparently with Mortal Kombat. So, um, sometimes with games, I like when things can be explored and we find out whether or not things are busted. That's why in SamSho, for example, uh, some characters, it could definitely be argued, if not proven, that they're dysfunctional. But like me and you have said, Brendan, still, despite that, the balance is enough to where the characters have the potential to do something. We just kind of have to see it. And whether or not we'll see it, we don't even know if that's going to happen since the world's falling apart right now.
my problem with it in SamSho is that these characters have tools that, and I'm going to speak specifically from a Basar standpoint because he's the guy I play a lot. I feel this less with Hanzo. We have tools that are specifically, it feels, designed to work together that don't. Whereas within Grand Blue, Boss, his stuff
All
works.
this stuff definitely works together.
His stuff
Voss
works.
can just kill you.
You have to work at it to make it start. But once you start, you're in. Your game plan is established and it works. There's no ooh, I needed to be, I don't know, 3 pixels closer to make my 30 frame startup far-reaching heavy attack work.
Oh, that's what you mean. And sorry, to make sure I don't forget what Matt said in the chat. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any examples. Like, I can't think of any concrete examples where a patch rolled out and it specifically brought out the potential in a character. Because, like what was mentioned previously in the chat with Dragon Ball, I forgot if that was... No, it was before... wasn't it before Base Goku's buffs that Wawa brought the character into the spotlight? And then people started playing Base Goku, and then the patch came out? I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But again, this is why I wanted to address it before I forget, because maybe that's a topic for another time of looking at specific examples throughout the FGC and analyzing when that has or hasn't happened. But my thing is, the flip side of that definitely happens, where some characters get explored because the top tiers get nerfed, as opposed to the other way around. But that's something we probably would just need to expand on more. But sorry, continue, Brendan. I just didn't want to.
I think I finished my point.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I feel like that sums up for the most part what I like about SamSho is that the balance, especially, is another thing that comes into question. Because you already know, I don't like when there's massive imbalance in a game. But actually, yeah, Israel, that is a good point. Actually, because when G first came out, just from jump, seeing his tools, wasn't he already like a scary character? And then
Scary because he broke the rules of the game.
he's got this nasty command grab. He's got a self buff system. He's got a projectile. Like, G seemed scary from the moment I saw that trailer. Well, he also seemed really freaking cool. I still think G's one of the coolest characters ever. But well, Street Fighter V's a game that I haven't ever been able to properly evaluate its balance because I haven't played the game enough, and I think now there's a lot of variety in Street Fighter V because this newest season kind of gave every character something nutty.
Yeah.
But I like when games have like variety and balance, which sort of segues into G only needs to hit you once. That sort of segues into my final favorite game. Do I need to say what it is?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's Sonic the Fighters, right? It's Sonic the
Yes.
Fighters, right?
Let's go, Knuckles.
Oh my god. Game number 2 that if Phil asks you to play it, don't play it. Sonic the Fighters. Actually, that's
Why are you
got
calling me out like that?
I got dibs on the Daytona USA car.
okay. Sonic the Fighters. It's not. Actually, is Sonic the Fighters bad? I don't know. Honestly, it's more so I have like a
Kinda bad.
negative bias for these games because of Phil and Michael. Especially Sonic R. Gosh, Sonic R is stupid.
I love Sonic R.
Sonic R.
Leave it alone.
Sonic R is whack.
Yeah. Sonic R is whack. Sonic Fighter's whack.
And it's totally
I wanna
not
play-
because I lost a race in Sonic R by literally 1 millisecond.
Totally not.
Gosh
I
dang
want
it.
to. I want to play that fan game.
Sonic Smackdown?
I think so.
Yo, hopefully Donovan watches this eventually because we stayed up a very long night playing Sonic Smackdown. And even though he quote unquote didn't like it, and I could feel how stupid the game is hilarious. Sonic Smackdown is
Dude, the
freaking
game is-
hilarious.
It looks kind of cool, to be honest.
It's
The last 2 Wednesday night fights before the quarantine started, they had Sonic Smackdown. They had tournaments for it.
Bro, really?
Gosh dang it,
Going
man.
down to WNF. We should have been going to WNF, dude.
Well, I guess we're gonna run Sonic Smackdown locals now. Sonic Smackdown is
We're running Maiden and Spell locals first. Just, I will fight you.
aye, Chief.
We need to play the Blaze Blue meme version.
Oh, what's it called?
I
Coefficient
don't remember.
did a video. That Blaze Blue mod looks so freaking funny. You summon
Wait,
Guile,
is it Blaze Blue Rainbow Edition?
basically.
That might be it. Yeah.
I don't think it's
It's
called that, but it's basically
so-
what it is. S can
it's
literally
so-
summon Guile. It's hilarious.
It's so
Wait, what?
dumb.
Summon
Yeah,
Guile
she
with who?
literally summons Guile, and she can do it several times.
Oh man.
So the whole
let me.
screen is covered in Guile's doing Sonic Boom and Flash kicks.
Wait, who?
I'm not gonna.
S?
I'm not gonna play the video, but I'm gonna show you where to look.
It's
Well,
so
why can S
pointless.
do that?
And then, like,
Why can S do
Hazama has his really bad command grab now instant kills and is like much faster. You just die. Like this guy, the guy that made it really liked Hazama and just like fucking made everything that he does ridiculous.
Frick, where is it? What's the edition
So,
called?
like, the Undernight designer's making Batista?
Yes.
Probably not that bad, though. Because, you know, Batista's like, you know.
Okay,
Batista.
so I can't find the video right now, but I'll definitely tell y'all to go to Coefficient's channel, search through his videos for, it's a certain Blaze Blue video, I'll just say that. If we find a way to play that version of Blaze Blue, it is very freaking funny.
It's probably a PC mod, and I can probably
It
figure
is.
it out
Definitely
like I
a
did with
PC
my
mod.
music mods.
Oh god, your music mods are banned.
They got deleted.
Oh, well frick.
They got reverted with the CLR update.
Gosh dang it.
The spree does the files.
I'm sorry. But to get back on track, obviously y'all know my third game is freaking Undernight. I've shilled this game. I've talked about it for so long. Y'all already know, but for those who don't know, Undernight is just a sick freaking game. Back when I was at UC Santa Cruz, Donovan and the homies, they were playing Unio. They taught me the game. Actually, before all that, my friend Michael, XOF, some of y'all know him, he's the one that introduced me to Uni at first, but then when I was in Santa Cruz, I actually got into Uni, like, actually was learning it. As soon as I tried this game, kind of like how some of you have described where you play a game and something about it just clicks for you, Uni has always, like, clicked for me. Not only because of its just cool anime aesthetic, the art is nice, the music has a bunch of freaking bangers. Uni soundtrack is sick, but Uni's another game where I wouldn't say it's the complete package, but it's a good package to where the the lore semi interested me. Now it's interested me even more. I spent a lot of time reading through Chronicles. But the tutorial of this game, I still hold it in high regard as one of the most expansive and thorough tutorials. Because even though if people want to say, "Oh man, but there's too much of it, it's scary," uh, that doesn't change the fact that it's still very thorough. Literally everything you would need to know, including fighting game basics, is in this tutorial. And I know to some people, in fact, hopefully it didn't come off as dismissive when I say it, but if anyone's ever asked me about getting into this game and I've told you to do the tutorial, I wasn't being dismissive, I wasn't memeing, I'm being very serious. Because I will teach you everything you want to know, but this tutorial probably also will teach you everything you need to know. This tutorial teaches you freaking option selects. It's bananas, man.
The tutorial is godlike.
There's stuff in this tutorial that I found out about after the fact, and I forgot that the tutorial taught me, and then I checked it again, and I was like, wow, this game taught me that, and I completely forgot. Like, it teaches you a lot, and obviously...
I touched up.
Wait, what?
As I said, like, the tutorial can front load you with stuff, but it's like, it takes a lot of trial and error to be like, oh yeah, now...
Yeah,
Well,
and this is
you just
where...
need to not-
Wait, what?
You just need to not brute force your way through the tutorial.
Yeah,
like,
obviously,
play the beginning,
people learn
but, like,
differently. You can digest it at your own pace, but this is kind of going into why, like, Uni as a package appeals to me, is where I feel like Uni is one of the epitomes of fairly accessible and easy to hop into, but pretty darn difficult and a lot of depth to master. Because starting the game out, I will literally tell people, don't even press the X button. Don't bother with it. Don't even look at the grid meter. Just play like a basic fighting game. And you can play this game very basic. It's got your Persona auto combo. You can figure out combos very easily, honestly. Light, medium, heavy. Do crouching heavy to standing heavy. Do a little Q air combo. You can feel good about yourself. And you can figure out special moves very easily in this game. But then, once you go into, like... Once you pull up the veil... get it? Veil? Veil off? Once you go into the grid system, that's where the game depth, like, skyrockets. That's, like, the grid system is the main thing that makes this game feel anime without, like, being overtly anime. Because obviously this game is much more ground focused. It rewards both good offense and good defense, but there's still a lot of decision making and resource management. But I guess if I were to sum up, what I like about the game system, it's, I guess, just the grid system as a whole, rewarding good fundamentals and good knowledge and good decision making. Because y'all already know, I am totally fine being super lame and zoning, and then if you get in on me, I will block forever, as long as it's something that as long as it's something that I could defend against, and I have the knowledge to defend against it properly, I'm okay with it. If I get schmixed, but it's something that, like, was practical and I didn't react in time, okay, fine. That's, I guess, is part of one of the various interactions in Under Night, is you block in this game and you're actually rewarded for blocking correctly. Majority of other games, you're sitting there blocking. Either you're waiting for someone to do a mix-up you literally couldn't see, or... Actually, no, that's usually what it comes down to. Someone does a mix-up you literally couldn't see. Um, but in this game, you got the grid system. You have guard cancel. No grid. Was it no grid? Guard thrust is called in this game. You're shielding, but each of these things also has counterplay. Because I like when things are intentional by design and there's answers to things. Someone is shielding a bunch, pushing you away. You can't run your pressure. Run up and grab them. Someone is blocking a lot and they keep getting grid to freaking guard thrust you. Bait the guard thrust or time your pressure differently. There's a lot of depth to this game that I appreciate and have talked about all the time ever since I came back from Santa Cruz. So y'all probably already know. Um,
Hey, Uni, it's a good game.
Play
Very
Uni.
good
It's a
game.
good game. um,
No,
huh?
I hate to dip early again, but I need to get going.
Oh yeah, no worries. Well, first off, thank you for tuning in and
Yeah.
chatting. Follow SonOfTill on Twitter if y'all want. He pioneered some Vossraga tech. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I post some tech from time to time. Most of the time, I tend to get active on a character release if I really like the character, or at the beginning of a game, and then I don't do anything. So
He's
that's
fairly
it.
active in our scene though.
Yeah.
So definitely give SonOfTill a follow. But I'll catch you later then, Brendan. Stay on the Grubhub grind.
Yeah, I absolutely am going to be doing that. Have a good night.
I'm gonna keep
Later.
ordering from Grubhub until Brandon delivers to me.
Yes.
That's why I was asking. Can you
I
specifically request certain people?
I doubt it, but I do think you see the name of the person when you're ordering.
I'm gonna order some smoothies and I'm gonna keep canceling until it's you.
Don't do that.
They'll cancel your account if you
Yeah.
do that. Though.
Freaking Christ, never mind. Alright.
I was gonna say I did pass by fuck your arcade. Fuck, the name is escaping me right now.
Arcade?
That you immerse.
Oh,
Immerse,
yeah.
Yeah, I passed by that like 3 times today.
Yeah, Immerse is lonely right now.
I
Actually,
bet.
we need
Just
freaking
like
locals.
everything else.
I bet. For real. Going to bed now. See y'all later.
Alright, see you later.
Laters. You don't. Oh, what is it that LeVar Burton always says on Reading Rainbow? You don't have to take my word for it. Go play Under Night. Actually, if you had Unist, it already updated to UniClear. You just have to pay for Landrakia. So that was actually the techie strat, if you will. Everyone got Unist for super cheap, and now you have UniClear. And then just buy Landrakia if you want him. Excuse me. But just try Uni. It's sick. If you like anime games without them being overtly degenerate anime, definitely try out UniClear. With the UniClear update, I guess it's debatable. They may be much more anime now than they were before. In fact, next week, if me and Nick and Donovan Coco Twinkie talk about UniClear, we can elaborate on that. But there were changes to the game that do add some nuttiness, but it still doesn't seem like it's on that level of typical anime nuttiness. I don't know. That's a conversation for next week. But try UniClear. That's all I will say. Like I've said the past how many years now? At least 2 years, maybe.
I don't know. You said it as long as I've been playing Unit.
There you go. It's a cool freaking game, and it still has one of the best tutorials. Am I wrong?
If I can learn fighting games on it, anybody. I was really bad.
At Uni?
I was just really bad when I started Uni.
I will actually never forget the day you brought it to the Forge, and there was a bit of people there, and then it was like mainly for Smash, but every single person at that venue signed.
For wait, was that one of the first forges?
It wasn't the first forge. It was like the first time you brought Under Night to the forge.
Yeah, it was later on when I was like consistently going and playing with you, right?
Yeah.
Because we were enter melee all the time. See, that's how much I bring the games I like to other events. But that's why I encourage people. Sometimes that's all it takes. If you like a game, not only stick with it, but get exposure for it. Bring it with you for people to play, but also be willing to teach people your game. Um, Sometimes that's all it takes for it to grow. And actually, not even just with our scene in Uni, but Uni as a whole worldwide. That's what people accredits the growth of Uni to, is the attention from its scene. Um, there's like videos on that and stuff. But sometimes that's all you gotta do. If you like a game, just play it. Freaking Battle for the Grid. You want to still play Street Fighter Cross Tekken? You still want to freaking you want to enter some Sonic Riders tourneys? Just play the game.
Bro, there's people doing. There's such a big competitive community. I get pings every night, dude.
That's
Every day, all day, I get pings.
I didn't
Let's
believe
play
you,
here, let's
but
play here, and there's
I
like
saw the
10
other day.
people in VC at all times.
I didn't know Sonic Riders has such a competitive scene. That's freaking wild, man.
There's like always 10 people in VC, I swear, in that Discord.
I'd ask why, but at the same time, Sonic Riders the first Sonic Riders is a really cool freaking game.
Really good. And there's also for Sonic Zero Gravity as well.
Even for Zero Gravity, what the frick?
It's not as active as Riders, but they did it for both. And they look good because of the 4K textures and stuff, dude.
Yo, see
We
me
need
in
to play
freaking HD Sonic Riders.
It's called Sonic Raiders Tournament Edition.
Tournament Edition, dang, they even went full mod on it.
TE.
They made new
Sonic Riders
artwork
TE.
and stuff, dude. That is what it is. That's what the file is called.
Oh my god. Shoutouts to dedicated scenes, man.
Dude, like, people can make competitive scenes out of anything. Sonic Riders, dude.
That's
They
wild.
have tournaments that have like 30 entrants weekly, dude.
There's a list of games that I definitely was going to keep trying to run around here as shenanigans, but potentially other things. Once we start having locals again, but I will definitely do Sonic Riders stuff, among other things. In fact,
I will bring Tournament Edition everywhere.
please do. And I'm probably gonna do like,
It's the GameCube port, technically.
well,
Anyway,
I forgot. They emulate it though, right? But it's the GameCube version.
it's Dolphin, yeah.
Yeah. I'll probably do like a list of games for people to like refresh my memory on what they want locals for. But again, it comes down to you supporting your game and what you want to play and what you want more people to play. Is because like again, not even just Fresno, but sometimes in SenCal as a whole, people have interest in a game, but whether it be wavering interest or just no time, sometimes people can't come out to stuff. But I would just implore people, always make the effort, no matter what. You never know what can happen. Freaking, we already know day one of KO being open again, Nick is going to bring his laptop. We're going to run a freaking maintenance spell, $2 side bracket. It's going to happen.
Dude, I'm gonna be running a uni bracket. I'm gonna be running one, dude. My laptop is getting goosed.
All I want to play is Ultimax.
Dude,
Well, we will keep playing Ultimax, man.
there's so much I need to learn in that game, but so few people to play again.
We just have to keep playing. But I guess now, since the stream's gone on 3 hours,
Damn.
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it's about the same time. Well, it's about the same time as the last one, but I can't tell if we did less tangents or more tangents. There was more structure to this one, maybe.
This
I can't
whole
tell.
thing was a tangent.
I mean, kind of. Well, this is why I intentionally have kept these topics vague, because capturing the natural flow of these conversations has been it's been fun for me at least. But also, what I want to do better probably is responding more in depth to what goes on in the comments, not just like joke comments and stuff, but uh, further elaborate on points made, and if we have the ways to either address topics on a later stream, or if we have can like fact check stuff in the moment, that would be good. But this is a learning experience. I'm not even a freaking affiliate streamer yet. I'm not very good at this, but I talk a
I
lot.
think after this stream, you should be.
Oh, well, that'd be nifty, because
It
I'm
seems
probably
like
gonna make
it.
emotes and stuff. But I will
Just your
probably
face. Just 5
well
emotes of your face.
now. Well, Phil. Well, actually, maybe I should do a Ronald emote. I don't know. Phil's got the Ronald emote. In fact, that kind of segues into our closing outro, whatever. Um, Subscribe to Waves Another One. You get a Ronald emote. That's pretty funny. I don't know why my face is such a meme for Fresno now, but it is.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Follow me on Twitter if you want to see me yelling at the Splatoon community about being dumb and baby.
Actually,
twice a
there
week.
has been more Snek responses on my Twitter feed now when it comes to Splatoon. So follow him for that. Yeah.
People don't
So-
understand what actual healthy game design is, and they complain about stuff, and it's great. People are like people complain about a special in the game that is actually like that's spammed, but it's actually healthy for the dynamic of the game. That I think will actually be turned into a mechanic for the next game, not a special.
Yo, it sounds like an entry for scrub quotes.
So many people, dude. It's like, sure, the weapon gets armor a lot. Like, the weapon probably gets it more than it needs to. But splat armor is what enables aggression, and people like playing aggressive and brain dead, but they don't like what allows them to do it. It's so dumb.
Yeah,
They want it to go away, and then once it's gone, and it's gonna be midline and backline only, they're not gonna be able to play their brain dead aggro like they want, and then they're gonna complain about that. It's so dumb, dude.
see,
People
Nick,
don't know what they want.
this is why Braden was right, Mythical Aurora was right. You're doing a Splatoon stream. In
I
fact,
streamed Splatoon in the past. I taught people how to play Splatoon. I've done like classroom lessons on this game. People don't know
gonna
how
do
to play
some
this
Splatoon
game.
speculation, but none of us except Nick know what we're talking about.
People, the competitive scene for Splatoon is more like, it's less like people actually want to be competitive. It's more like Nintendo made such a bad online multiplayer system in terms of like team queuing and like being able to actually do stuff with a team that like the competitive scene is just turned into a supplement for being what the ranked queue should have been. Like you should be
That
able
sounds
to
dysfunctional as
have-
frick.
the ranking system caps off like the highest rank in the game is X rank, and like at this point I swear to God must be like 5 to 10% of the players in the game are in the rank.
Yo,
Like,
shouts to Overwatch.
it's bad.
That's
Like no,
I'm
Overwatch
just kidding.
is
I
a million
like
times
Overwatch.
better.
Yeah, I'm just
At
kidding.
least
I like
like-
Overwatch. I'm just kidding.
Like you could be like a top 500 player getting matched up against like players that are, like in a match with like in ranked mode solo queue. Like the match has like at least 5 people in it that are like only in like the top 10,000 barely. It's bad.
See, now that well, I want to say it's like a thin line between curiosity and
And you can't
amusement.
queue up in the ranked mode. Give shows your monthly queue. There's no way to queue with teammates. It's just go on yourself. There's no voice chat for queuing. No voice chat.
That's
You
terrible.
You go into what the supplement for a ranked queue is for teams, and there's only rank for that like 2-hour rotation, and then ranks reset. You get matched up against people. Actual rank is like C rank. It's atrocious, dude.
Good
It's-
grief. We're definitely gonna need to save that for another time. But follow Snek for Tsundere Splatoon shenanigans, but mainly focused on Uni. Definitely follow Waves Another One for, well, lately, Phil, you've been playing freaking Resident Evil and Animal Crossing, right?
I've been playing Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, yeah, Final Fantasy
I was
also.
playing Resident Evil for a while. I beat it, and then I did a speed run right after that.
Dang, Phil's a
Been playing
speedrunner
Mega
now.
Man. I've been speedrunning Bubsy.
Oh, wait, I
But,
forgot.
Oh my god.
I know, right?
Can you not?
The newer ones? The older ones?
I'm
Well-
playing the Woolly Strike Back on PlayStation 4.
I was about to say it better not be 3D.
So I am going to do a sub goal of 25 subs. If we hit that goal, I'm going to do a complete playthrough of My Riding Stables.
Oh my god,
My
you were
life?
serious?
Yeah, if I'm going to do a Road to Platinum run through of that game.
Oh my god. You subscribe to Phil if you...
Follow Phil for what was it called? Wild Stables.
My Riding Stables Life with Horses.
I'm not even gonna show that on the
Yeah,
stream.
follow him for that.
Uh,
Follow him for that.
give
Who
Waves
cares
another
about
one
Smash?
your subscription. You can follow Matt for probably waifus. Actually, Matt, what do you post on Twitter? Like what?
I don't post. I just respond.
Oh, all right. So put something, and then he'll respond, and he'll probably like a picture of a waifu or Cammy. Send Matt Cammy fan art.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, do that.
Yeah, do that.
And last but not least, definitely follow Dasamuran. He's been streaming very consistently. Not even just fighting games, but he's playing freaking, what was that? WWE?
WWE, and shout out to, I don't know if he's still, but Wapo Kami was on the stream yet, or on Wednesday, and he was throughout. He stayed on the stream for like the whole 2.5 hours that I streamed it.
Dude,
So shout out to
Nice.
Wapo Kami.
good stuff, dude.
But yeah, so my my regular streaming days are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I try
So
to start
tomorrow.
sometime between 7 and 7:30. You could go to my Twitch, which is Dasamuran, or you can go to Facebook, whichever you prefer, which is Dasamuran Gaming, and you can find it there as well. So I do stream on both.
Yeah, when these go up to YouTube, I put everyone's social media in the description also. So be sure to check everything out. Yeah, so thank all of y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for chatting. I forgot. We had so many tangents earlier, and I'll probably come across them when I do the timestamps and stuff. But I should probably make sure. No, I do not endorse the KKK. I probably should put that there to make sure I don't get demonetized or something.
You do for Popeyes. You
No,
said it yourself.
I'm pretty sure it's something along the lines of I would be willing to risk the danger. There's no endorsement there. I'm not that racist.
Bro,
I'm
what is
kidding.
this?
Anyways, Popeyes is yummy. I don't endorse the KKK. Play Under Night. Play SamSho. Play Grand Blue.
Play any game you like.
Play what
Yeah,
you
play
like
whatever.
and support what you like.
Yeah.
And also teach people what you like. Because sometimes let's be honest, some of these games that are out right now don't have good tutorials. And someone doesn't want to have to look up the 10 hours of YouTube videos just to learn the basics of the game. I'm not going to name any specifics, but some games are like that. Oh, man. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate everyone that's watched, everyone that's shared. Sorry that I started so late. Typically, I can't really have a set start time ever because either I'm going to go off of people's availability or I'm going to have technical difficulties like today. In fact, the only reason I was able to get gameplay on here temporarily is because, like I mentioned before, my capture card keeps shifting things from HD output to standard output because of streaming P+. So I'm going to try to figure that out. But until I figure out stuff like that, I am sorry if my streams ever start late or end late. But thank you guys for your support still. Hopefully, did y'all have fun today? This was a nice conversation.
Yeah.
I did.
It was good.
It was good.
And I like doing all of these last minute edits to these pictures and having everyone tune in and stuff. Um, so I guess that kind of concludes the podcast. But tune in tomorrow to Dasamuran's stream. Also,
Yeah, I'll be playing Guilty Gear tomorrow.
oh wait, yeah. So everyone and their mom's gonna be playing Guilty Gear. I'm gonna do a stream at some point tomorrow, but it is not going to be Guilty Gear. It's gonna be a silly little meme thing for the Fresno GC. Um, don't want to spoil it, but it'll probably be dumb and have no meaning. But we'll be chilling.
It will have all the meaning.
I suppose it will.
It's gonna be a fun stream.
It's gonna be hilarious. So tune in tomorrow. Tune in to everyone else's streams if you can. There's a giant thread in the FresGC group of everyone's Twitch channels and stuff. And aside from that, people will probably be streaming a lot of Strive. So check out people's Strive streams. Get a taste of the game if you can.
This could really get us round start 50-50 people.
What is it? What was it? Zeke that always said make Potemkin great again?
I think you can round start 50-50 people, dude. For like 40% of their health.
Yeah, got him. GG's.
Something. Get countered. Go flying. That's Guilty Gear now.
Gosh,
Bro,
dang it,
Guilty
man.
Gear just has SamSho damage now, dude.
It
mean,
might be higher.
Honestly, even Granblue has SamSho damage at some parts. Seems like newer games in general are getting higher damage output. What is that?
I don't know how
Wait, what?
this looks crazy.
What, Granblue? I mean, GG damage?
Like, this looks crazy for like how easy it looks.
Strive definitely looks more simplistic, but at the same time, apparently the pressure is more nutty. So to me, it still looks like Guilty Gear, but probably just more accessible, which not to shoot or not to accidentally
I'm just
call them
scared
out,
of
but
how, like,
Guilty Gear's never been
explosive
too
the
accessible.
damage. Like, this is crazy looking, dude.
Actually, I guess that's a good segue to close things out. And aside from the whole list of things I told y'all to do, the last thing, go check out some Strive videos and streams. We already know Senkai's gonna be playing Guilty Gear Strive as soon as it comes out, so check it out. Among all the other games that you totally should play first, like my 3 favorite games, play those games first. But
Let's
all
play
right,
Dissidia.
you want to play
Oh.
Dissidia?
Okay.
You gotta
No.
learn.
I'm
You gotta
gonna-
learn for winning.
I'm gonna
Hey,
I'm gonna
download-
stop the
download the
stream
free-
now. But
I will
y'all
once
can
we
keep
get PS4
chatting and
back
stuff
from
if you
dead.
want. I might practice Granblue or something. I'm a Mixbox player now on Granblue, so I might practice that.
If anyone wants to put you on PC, I'm available.
I don't have Uni on PC yet. In fact, honestly, I don't know if
That's
my
right,
laptop
you-
can handle it.
Probably
you
not.
have a Mixbox now too.
Yeah,
Yeah, Roundout has all the controllers.
There's a
Except
negative
the regular
penalty
stick.
now in Guilty Gear?
there always was a negative
there
penalty in
always?
Guilty Gear. I thought there was. Wasn't there?
There's also a positive now?
Wait, what? A positive
There's a
penalty?
positive now for getting your wall break.
What? Okay. Guilty Gear is freaking wild. Shoutouts to the realest of shenanigans. Guilty Gear's always been full of shenanigans. I'm gonna hit stop streaming now. Thank all y'all for watching. This will be on YouTube. Follow everyone I said and play everything I said. Nighty night. Adios.
So yeah.
Later.